So let me go through and put the link in the chat. If anybody's interested, they can come up. They do have a new challenge coin, and I will be. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? I will be going through and revealing it. Let me mute that. Oh, Kyle, you're not a mod in here? I'm more than happy with making you a mod. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. My bad. On the wrong channel in the. Hey, Bud Files, good to see you. Bud Files, come on up on panel if you would. I mean, it'd be good to have you here. I mean, you're such a good supporter of so many different folks. Love to have you up on panel once. All right. I do give out mod ships pretty easy, but I do ask that people, don't abuse them. Okay. I assume you're telling me about your change in channel names. I don't. Yeah, because I know that's you. But I didn't know. I do have a new challenge coin here. It's right there. We got some, and I did pick up one for. I picked up four. One for me, one for Tammy, one for my buddy Jeremiah, and one for my buddy Devil Talk. Yeah, it's all good, Kyle. Anyhow, we're here today to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Moon. You're welcome to come up too if you want. Moon's one of the most consistent people in. Oh, I almost didn't realize. I do want to share a channel with y'all, and it's one of the few channels I've seen more replies from than anybody else. And she's obviously awesome people. And I've watched some of her stuff, and I do want to go through. I don't think that's the same one. In fact, I know it's not. Here it is. Let me tell you all about a friend of mine. This is Mika, and she is awesome. I can't tell you how many comments she's made. She's only got 111 subscribers and 86 videos. It's been my experience that typically when you have, I understand. Y'all stop it. Y'all keep it up. I'm gonna put you back in the corral. Sometimes you got to teach them children, them puppies. They're my fur babies, so they're children. Anyhow, I'll go through and present the screen and show y'all my friend Mika. Mika did a video just 3 days ago, and yeah, did one a month ago for Valentine's Day. Also, but she is an awesome. In fact, I would have to call her a super supporter. Yeah, that's fine, Kyle. You're welcome up here. We continue to have an open panel. But let me drop Mika's link. There are a few channels out there with a similar name, but Mika, just awesome. Maybe she just likes my content, at which point, and I have watched some of her stuff as well. All right, stop it. I might have to separate these puppies. All right, we'll see you in just a minute, Kyle. Hang on, let me see if I can catch these puppies first of all. All right. I tell you what, I know how to catch them. Bring out these treats. They'll come running to the treats. Nikki comes running. The other two, they sit off too. Got one of them with a tree. It's good bait. You can always catch them with a tree. As long as they like them tricks. Here you go, Nikki. Woo, that tooth's sharp. That hurt. Well, my pleasure, Kyle. Oh, let me give Otis one. Otis is sitting here. What? I want one. There you go, buddy. Nikki caught me on my thumb. Hey, Joanne, good to see you. Always a pleasure to see you in the chat. It really is. And I do see you around on a lot of different live streams. You're a good supporter of everybody. And hey, much love. Much love. There we go. Or, in fact, hang on. I got another one I'll do. Let's see, where is it? I know I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's why. Here we go. Much love. And much love, Joanne. Good to see you. Jeff, how you doing, brother? If you can, come on up. I do have a challenge coin I think you'll be interested in. By the way, let me drop another link. This is the link for that is the link, and let me go through and I'll put it over here so y'all can see it there as well. A lot of y'all know Ralph. Ralph is, in fact, I'll drop a link for his channel as well. And his channel is Webb's Web. And he's good people. He's a friend. Has been for a long time. And if you would, when you go over there, if you go over and connect with him, tell him that I said you. But Ralph, let me show you what else he's got going on. He's as sharp as they come. He is as sharp as they come when it comes to technical, a lot of this stuff. In fact, he and Eddie have a tech talk every hey, that's ain't nothing wrong with that. But he will go through it. I guess I could do it like this, couldn't I? Yeah, I kind of like that one. But on this page, this channel right here, you can go through and go to a list of events where it tells you when there are meetups going on. Hey, Kyle.
Hey.
And let's see, they have meetups that go on. You can go to a live list where it will go through and it'll tell you what lives are on what day, regularly scheduled. At least if you want to check. Hey, 49 and more. Good to see you. Pleasure having you here. This will tell you, about different live streams that are regularly scheduled on a given day. Obviously, mine is the last one. I get maybe I'm the last one for the week. I don't know. At the moment, I seem to be. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. This one right here, I wonder what happens if you click on that. Takes you right to my channel. There you go. I can exit out of that. Tell you all about Ralph's channel or his. It's like a calendar. You got extras. He's got some videos on there. He's got a way of contacting us. You'd have to click on that mail thing. He does have some stores. For example, hey, Pete, it's good to see you, brother. There's Jamie's store, and that's where I get all my merchandise. There is Drunken Chef Rubs, and there is Willoway Ranch. And there's a new one for Wicked Candy Foods. If you need some candy, go over there. This is Lance's over at Sleeper Barbecue, and he also does some stitch art. if you need some hats or stuff like that done, make sure you go over there at Bland's Promised Land Ranch. You know, I'm kind of curious what's up on that link. So let's check it out. Okay, cool. They've got merchandise and that type of thing. And let's go over and check out Jamie's as well. Jamie, first one on here. And Jamie is awesome. I was just showing one of these. And she's got some good stuff. Anyhow, if you need stickers or if you want to get some Devil Dog merch, this is the place to get it. And you can give you some ideas as well for some things that, you could have for your own channel. And the place to do that's going to be, it's got my stuff on here too. Free channel stickers. Yep. Free channel stickers. If you want channel stickers, get in touch with Jamie. If you want any of my stickers, get in touch with Jamie. She'll send you stickers, mine and Devil Dogs. So it's pretty cool. And I think we're going to have some coffee cups and that type of stuff on there. And there's some web merchandise. She does custom orders. I think we got one of these for like my niece not too long ago.
Oh,
she
nice.
got let me go to coffee mugs. Well, I don't see any on the thing. Maybe they're working on that, but let me go through and show you. This is a coffee mug from Jamie. It's got all my channels on, or at least 4 of them. YouTube Plays, Belt Loop 29 Food, Cute Critters, and Gardening. So anyhow,
That's cool that they made that.
Do what there?
That's cool that they made that.
I agree. Graphic arts is a great profession. It is. Well, I don't know why that went on there. Oh, I know. Kyle put his avatar on. No, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry.
It just kind of took me by surprise. You think as long as I've been doing this, I wouldn't be surprised by stuff like that. But still to this day. Oh, I was going to show y'all my challenge coin. Y'all ready to see a challenge coin? First of all, show of hands. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what a challenge coin is. Put a 2 if you don't know what it is. That reminds me, I think I need to get my tobacco. Hey, Najuma. Okay, Kyle is not aware of what a challenge coin is. Oh, I think that's got some in it. Nope, empty. 49 more. Tiffany does not. Najuma does not. And I'm going to explain it the best I can. But if somebody else has more information on it than me, then I'll welcome another person's explanation. Hang on just a second, and I'm going to show my challenge coin that I've got a couple of them. But hey, Mama Ann, Mama, if you can, turn your computer on, love to have you up here. I love my mama, and she is awesome. And she is in the chat. I hope she can figure out how to get up here on the live stream. Hopefully, hey, I may be doubly blessed today. Hang on just a second. I got to get something over here.
No worries.
And all right. In fact, I'll to make sure I'm not giving any inaccurate information. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google, and I'll show y'all what Google says about it. Hey, Ivy, good to see you. And Mama is in the chat. So let's look up what is challenge coin. Now, these days, I think they're really more of a collector thing, but I get a challenge coin is a small coin or medallion bearing an organization's insignia or emblem and carried by the organization's members. Traditionally, they might be given to prove membership when asked and to enhance morale. They are also collected by service members and law enforcement personnel. So the you just order some stickers. Very cool, Jay. So a challenge coin is something that you might have in order to, and from what I understand, a lot of times they would go through and, if you met somebody, then you got to talking in order to, if one person had their challenge coin and the other one did not, the person that did not have their challenge coin would have to buy the person with the coin a beer. And I guess it could. Hey, Simon, good to see you. Hey, Jake, I'm gonna hold you for just a little bit. All right, we're we'll talk about it a little bit. But then I do. Hey, Jake's a friend. Yes, I am live, Simon. This is not Memorex. I'm here today though to show off my challenge coin. I don't tell anybody where my wife works, and this will not actually reveal where she works, but she does also work with law enforcement. And so, well, I won't go into that. I can't. But through her, I was able to obtain this, and this is cool. This is well, I'll show you the coin. That is an FBI Las Vegas Super Bowl challenge coin. And that right there, and I'll pull it out. Challenge coin thief. P digits. I hear you. You like collecting the challenge coins, P digits?
I like collecting anything of worth.
Okay. Well, I think they're worth something. I think they're very cool. I enjoy them. I've got a few, and to me, it's not always about the. Let me show that as well. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna bigify my self for just a second. Department of Justice.
I'm still here. I'm doing something.
That's cool. This, I just thought this was just a really cool thing to get. And it's got this comes apparently from the, well, one more time, comes from the Highland Mint, whatever that is, certificate of authenticity. But a lot of people don't realize that the FBI works the Super Bowl. But, anytime that you have that, that many folks gathered together, I would think it'd be, of interest, especially since 9/11. So, go chase the ball, Nikki. But how you doing, Digits?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm blessed. Still working on watch hours. By the way, I think let me see. I know I've got it here somewhere. I am working towards getting my 3,000 hours, but I don't know if I'll do anything before 4,000 hours. But I'm down to 373 hours to hit the 3,000 first level of. If I can, I'll go up on panel and show you some challenge coins. Hey, that'd be awesome, Simon. Would love to see them. I know also Skipper at the Numismaniac. does, challenge coins as well. P Digits, do you have challenge coins?
No, I didn't even know what they were.
Oh, okay. I've only really started hearing about it a couple of years ago. And I got a friend of mine that was both in the military and retired from police, sent me a challenge coin, and I had to do a little research on it. And from what I understand, it started a while back, maybe after World War II or something.
Okay.
And maybe I probably ought to look at that just to verify that, because I could be misremembering it. All right, when did challenge coins start? According to one story, challenge coins originated during World War I, before the entry of the United States into the war. In 1917, American volunteers from all parts of the country filled the newly formed flying squadrons of the Army and Naval Air Service. So I guess it started right there around World War I. It had to be about 100 years ago. So Nikki's wanting me to play with her, but I ain't got the patience to. Not right now.
I'm also reading the challenge course pricing runs on an average unit price of $5 to $15 a piece. However, I am looking at a challenge coin from 9/11 Memorial, and it is $974.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are collectibles.
Yeah.
And I know that's one of the reasons why Numis maybe ain't get. I mean, Numis does a lot of collecting. I'm sure Skipper. He's in here very often, and and you and me and him and Devil Dog and hey DJ, how you doing? But he's got a lot of collectible stuff. It's kind of neat to watch him go through some of this stuff.
Yeah. Hey DJ.
Been thinking about
What's up,
getting.
DJ?
You can actually go to the bank and order like coins from a specific place. I did, in fact. I went and got something else I won't share at this point. At some point, I probably will, but I did do something else that I've kind of done, and to I don't know. I'm going to give a few of them to specific people, and I may do another not the challenge coins, but I am going to be doing some other stuff that for maybe a couple of giveaways, maybe just members or something. I don't know. I don't set a bunch of store by making sure I'm a member, but I do try to make it a point, if somebody else is a member of my channel, I do try to make sure I'm a member of theirs. And so it's just a way of showing support. And truthfully, it's just trading money right back, because I'm a member of theirs, they're a member of mine, and and YouTube takes its cut anyhow. So it's
always going to take its cut.
That's right. So it's always a losing proposition, to sub to or be a member of somebody's channel who's a member of yours, because usually the money's just going, eventually goes. Hey, cool, Joanne. Usually the money's just going, at some point it all goes to YouTube. But I guess that's. Sorry, it's getting a little warm here. I'm cutting on the fan. And but I am doing a little bit of working on the watch hours on this channel, and maybe I ought to put it back on the police. There we go.
There you
go. I did shave, but I'm growing it back. It's a little too slow for me and Tammy though. Tammy ain't crazy about my shaved head.
How long have you has it been since you've shaved it all off?
I did that about a week ago, I guess.
Okay.
I think it was I think so. let me look on my channel because I did right after that I did Devil Dog Show, and yeah, that had to be last Saturday because it was like on the, you know, what's that, 9th, 10th, something like that. Because I shaved it right before Devil Dog Show because I figured Devil Dog was going to go through and do his Tech Talk, which is usually on the first weekend, the first Saturday of the month. But he didn't go through and do that last week. So I spent the entire time on his show just as an icon or whatever. I actually did the reveal on mine. And so, but I think I've done a couple of live streams since then. One thing I am thinking about doing, just a thought, is going through and doing just do a restream on like Mondays or something. I guess I need to look at I need to get and look and see when, you know, Monday nights. Well, there's a couple of them that I would be going over if I do it on Mondays. And let's see. No, that's Monday there. Yeah, there's still several. So I have once a week done it, and I don't know. I'll have to pick a night to where I'm just doing a restream. Can't do it on Tuesdays. You know, Simon's on Tuesdays. Welcome back.
He's trying to come back.
Yeah, he's apparently having a few internet issues at the moment. It happens to all of us. Let's see. I'll have to find one night where, but the trouble is, everybody in the mama is doing almost every day. So it would be hard to find a time frame where it just goes through and you could do a 9-10 hour live stream, just a rerun. But it's easier to do that when I'm trying to, and hey, I've been getting like 50, 60, hours on those live streams because I'm, maybe more. Okay, let's take a look.
Good.
And look at content, live stream. This is my last 10.5 hour one. I got, if you look at it since it was uploaded, I've got 63 hours off of it. So I'm happy with that. And then he'll make it in a minute. And then I had another one before that. And that one, let's see how many that got. It says 26, but I'm thinking I'm thinking that's wrong. Maybe it is. I don't know. Because 11 of those are since then. I don't know. I could have swore. They must have taken some off of that. That's the only thing I can think. Because I average. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering things. I don't know. But I could have swore I was, had 40 or 50 on that. So it's just like, right, I'm thinking maybe. There we go. Good to see you again. I'm thinking that maybe they're taking off the views from people that just let it run and don't really comment much. I don't know. But anything's possible. So we're
sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. One thing about it though, I never try to hold anybody to a standard that I'm incapable of holding up myself. I do go over to other people's live streams and try to support them. In fact, right now I've got one or two people's live streams running just because, in fact, just trying to show support. And I do make a comment from time to time. It may be something as simple as just, still lurking or still here. And I make sure, well, lurking can be very helpful, be for me anyhow. I just don't know. I don't know how the hours on that could have been dropped down so much. But that's fine. Whatever they do. The fact is, they ain't no time. I don't have a time frame that I'm setting, saying, "Ooh, I got to do this by this date." I do know that. And Jeff, Jeff, you at work or you want to come up? Jeff's an interesting person, likable fella. His live streams, though, left an important private voice text. Okay, I'll check it out in just a few. I never know what I'm going to do when I'm going to do it, but I've only just recently decided I'm going to stay home tonight as opposed to going into work. The reason why I guess I'm staying home is I did take off a couple days at the beginning of the month, but I'm not sure. It used to be, it was based on a weekly basis, whether or not, if you took a day off and then you worked overtime during that week, they would take your holiday, floating holiday time, and they'd switch that over to agency comp time. Trouble is, you don't ever, it's hard to get paid on agency comp time. It's not hard to get paid on floating holiday time. You just take a day off and that's what it does. That pays for that day. And understand, when I'm talking about floating holidays, that's like when you worked on Christmas, when you worked on Thanksgiving, when you worked on, all these different, family days where you're actively, as a police officer, you're spending time away from your family so you can make sure that other people, are protected. Now, granted, at my job, I'm more of a security guard than anything else, glorified one at that, because I go through and I'm a supervisor there. So most of what I do is just go through and assign details and dispatch calls. And, I take in pews and hand out pews and, stuff like that. But it's not a whole lot of law enforcement, but we do make sure. Oh, yes, I'd be glad to, Simon. Let me make sure that I've got it copied again, and I hadn't copied anything else because I think I put out I'm pretty sure I put out, dropped a link. Let's see here. Let me go to my mail. All right, get rid of that. Let me compose. All right. There we go. And sending it now, Simon. I do admit.
Got a toy.
Oh, yeah, that would be Nikki. I put the other dogs in a kennel. Not kennel, really more of a corral. So that they're in the corral. Well, Nikki, Otis, a lot of times he'll bark because he wants attention. There you go. He hears me say his name. He decides to speak up. And when I'm on live streams, he'll go hours and hours without saying anything. But then all of a sudden, oh, I did send that, didn't I? Let me look if I sent. Yeah, I sent it. But hoorah! What's up, Devil Dog?
Devil Dog.
But Nikki likes to play with the ball and hit the squeaky on it. And trouble is, she tears them up usually pretty quick. Oh, Devil Dog, just so you won't have to watch the replay, I'll show you this is, and y'all pardon me for just a moment, I'm gonna begify myself.
Yeah.
This is the Super Bowl challenge coin. It's an FBI Las Vegas Reno Super Bowl 2/11/2024. And on the other side of it, let me show you the other side of it. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation. And it also comes with a certificate of authenticity. So the Devil Dog, I got one of these for you, and I will be, bringing that down next time I come down. We all know I'm not any good at mail, so I'm maybe slightly better than Devil Dog, but not better than James. What's up, Simon?
Hey, Simon.
Hey, Simon.
Hello. What did I do with that thing?
You a coin hunter, Simon?
I like challenge coins. Oh, here it is.
Okay, hang on. Let me bigify you so we can see your challenge coin.
So I bought this one by mistake.
Oh, that's beautiful.
On the backside is United States Marine Corps,
Oh,
But is it-
nice.
but it says retired on it. I just wanted the one that had the United States Marine Corps on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to my nephew when he retires. That's the other side.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then that same day, we were on base with my nephew, and he gave me this one. This is from his battalion. Let me see if I can get this sucker out. There you go.
Oh, neat.
What does that say, Simon?
It says, I think it says First Battalion Heavy Equipment Company,
Cool.
HE Heavy Equipment Unit. I don't know what else the rest of that means, but yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Very cool.
it lives in one of these, so it's like it's hard to open.
I don't know if I have I've got one or two challenge coins, I'm thinking, but I don't know if I've got them all in.
I had
here.
one long time ago. Don't know what happened to it. I lost track of it long time ago. I don't remember what it was also, but I know it was a challenge coin. I think it might have been Army. But yeah, this is my first one that I bought.
Oh, I got this one. Here's one I got from Skipper. If I can get it open. No, I just show, and I'll show it. Here's one from the Royal Canadian
wow.
Regiment,
Wow, that's pretty cool.
and it's got it's like a story or kind of
Yeah.
hard to see.
You would have to read that to me because I can't see that. I would not be able to see it on my own.
I'll be honest with you. With the it's maybe it's a prayer. Almighty God, we humbly implore you, thy blessings on the Royal Canadian Regiment and all of those and all who serve with therein. Help us to prove worthy to accept the high ideals. I'm having trouble reading it. My eyesight is just not as good as it used to be, and I don't know if this is considered a challenge coin or not, but I had it made up. You know, got the Devil Dog on one side, got the Good Cop on the other. There were only a couple of those made, and that was for the Good Cop, Bad Dog show that we had for a while. I was showing some of those on. I gave away one to Eddie, one to me. We gave away gave away one to Jonesy. And then I think two, one was given to, I don't know if Eddie ever gave away his or not. I gave away, one of them to, to a channel member. And, although I can't remember who I sent it to. I cannot remember. It's at a Torvastatin. Eddie said he'd be back in a few. I expect he was working today, so anyhow. But I think maybe the hours that disappeared were from by the way, Simon is still here. He's muted and he's got his icon on. So if you go through and you
Sorry about that.
oh, that's okay. I was just letting them know that when you go through and you hide the cam, on this one you can still be heard.
Right.
They don't see your thing.
Yeah, that's why I turned off my mic as well, because I was having a conversation with my nephew over here.
Okay. Now, is he the one in the that was in the military?
No. He's still in the military. He's up in North Carolina, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but my nephew Andy, he lives here with us.
Oh, okay.
But instead of me going to the grocery store, he's gonna go for me.
That's awesome. Gives you some free time.
Yeah.
To chill. By the way, Simon, I am sorry I wasn't able to get to the chat on that restream replay thing I was doing.
I figured it out. Eventually nobody was replying, like, okay.
3, 2, 1. See you later.
Oh yeah, it's probably like 2 minutes apart, probably, or 3 minutes apart.
They probably were. I was driving at that moment and I could not get to the chat. So, and I think I had forgotten to, when I left the house, I could not access I could access StreamYard on my phone, but for some reason you can't put the banners up on the phone. And I've been thinking about adding 1 or 2 more drop commands like special forces or
39.
Yeah, well, I may add 39 just for you. By the way, what does that mean? It may be an act, the whole 29 thing.
What's that? Somebody
said that they thought that the whole thing was an act about the 29, and I don't know what that means. I can't help that 29s just keep popping up. I can't help that I see them. It started because a friend of mine, one day casually commented,
39.
Hey, I'll have to start putting all my clocks on 29, I guess. Okay, excellent. I'll check it out. I try not to do none of that. I mean, if you like to, you're welcome to come up on panel, Rebecca. But I try not to pay as much attention to my phone. I know it may not seem like that. But when I'm doing a live stream, but sometimes I do anyhow. Never intentional. I'm just scatterbrained. And it's that dadgum Torvastatin. That reminds me, I thought of a new thing to put on a t-shirt.
What's that?
Just the statement, that should go on a t-shirt. It's clever. I think it's clever. And I heard, who was that? I think it was Army vet. I was over at Gutter's Pub on their live stream. I even hopped up on panel for, I don't know, about an hour, I guess. And
I like Gutter's Pub.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't know most of the people in there. I think I had heard of, I've seen Gutter's Pub several times. I think mostly maybe in the experts chat. I go to, I don't always spend all my time in one chat or another. There are obviously a couple of them that y'all are always going to see me. And hey, 12th man off Grid Alaska. Good to see you. USA. That reminds me, hashtag USA will drop your link as well.
Hashtag you.
or maybe it's just USA. Try typing USA into the chat and see if that drops your link.
I can't go back into the chat right now because I'm loading a video up. on
Oh,
my-
I'm sorry. I had not dropped the link. Is that to yours? Do you have live stream going on right now, Jeff? I must have forgot to go through and pin the link.
I thought you were, that's why I sent you, I asked you to email me the link. I didn't see the link pin. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Keeping me updated. I don't know if it's hashtag USA or just USA. It may be just USA.
I'm gonna try USA.
Yeah. And there we go. Hashtag USA hashtag. I think it's just USA. But you can't you can type in US.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. It just did it for me. USA. Yeah, it did it.
Okay. Well, I keep thinking of all these different things that will drop your link.
Well, I was just curious.
Well, I don't blame you. I stay curious myself. So
I can't get rid of the other thing on my because I'm on my iPad because it won't let me delete it.
yeah, Yarn will touch you and will drop your link as well. Hey, most of my friends have some kind of in fact, I think I don't think I have tech set up on here.
just messing around. I'm just messing around.
But let me think.
I'm
I don't know if yes does it or not. It's hashtag yes on yours, son?
Yeah, hashtag yes.
Let me see if I set that up. I don't know if I did it or not.
You sure
I think
did.
when I was typing in US, it came up.
Let's see. Hashtag yes. I think yeah, I mean hashtag yes will drop your link here. So most of my friends that have drop commands, will get an added drop in here so they can drop their link. And Jeff, do you have a drop command over there on yours? I don't seem to recall it.
For some reason, my Nightbot it quit working, so I need a little help with that at some point if somebody could. I wanted to show something off if I could. I saw that Coin Hunter. Most of mine are in safes. I got this. My dad and I went to a Trump rally. This is back in the day. This is a while back. But I got a gold coin. I might have to take my virtual background off. It's an official. Yeah, let me try it this way.
Yeah, it hides it too much.
Yeah, let me take.
I'm hearing some kind of.
Pardon?
I'm hearing some kind of feedback. I wasn't sure if you caught it or not.
Let's see, this should be better. So it's an official. See if I can do this. I'm not very good at this.
Hang on, let me.
So there's the box, and I'll go ahead and take it out of the box.
Oh, there's a box. Okay, I thought that was a coin.
It's in a protective. And here's the front of the coin. This 24 karat gold.
Oh, it's a big old coin. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the back here, it'll be mirrored. It says the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Yep, the seal.
That is.
And I thought I'd show that off since it was easily accessible. All of the rest of my stuff are in different safes. But I am a coin collector myself. I have a lot of sealed U.S. Mint coins that back in the day, I used to collect a lot of gold and silver bullion, and I invested in a lot of that. And thankfully, one day at the time, my wife and I needed the money, and we sold almost everything because we needed to. But there's certain things I just won't sell, and that's one of them.
Silver it's going pretty high right now, so it's like So is gold. So I just saw a report last week. It reached an all-time high. I think it was last week. or
Oh,
the week before.
wow.
For gold, yeah.
See, gold, when I was purchasing gold and silver, I think silver was around $14 an ounce, $15, somewhere around that area. And gold was around 1,200, I believe, an ounce, or 1,100.
When I first started, when I was younger, maybe in my teens or early 20s, silver was, I think, $8 an ounce,
Yeah,
and gold was like 200 ish.
early 2000s, I think. Yeah, somewhere around that area.
Yeah. Yep. 2000s. Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I have started collecting coins really since I started doing this. And I think it was probably because of the fact that, I think Al Chafe maybe or Radio Jonesy, one of them sent me some coins from their, country. And so I thought that was so cool to have those. And so to me, it's not a question of the value of the coin, because I know a lot of people, that's what they're doing, collecting valuable coins. I just like having, coins from different places and that, different countries and what have you. And so if there's anybody here from some, small known country or whatever, send me some coin. No, I'm just playing. Yeah. Hey, feel free to do it, though.
Put me on the big screen, Gary.
Yeah. Coming right up.
This is a coin I have in my desk all the time.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
1965, I believe, or 63, can't remember.
It's silver.
63.
Yeah,
Looks
this is
like
silver.
63.
Yeah, this is silver. I think 90% silver.
I don't
Yeah,
know the majority.
But
silver,
this
though.
came out of hold on. This came out of just pocket change years and years ago. And I had a bunch of quarters, a bunch of dimes that were all silver. Most of that's gone, but this one just stays in my desk.
What's up, Busby? Busby says hey to us.
I've got some. I got lucky one time. What I used to do is when I would get paid, I would go to the bank and I would get like a roll of quarters or dimes, and $half. And one time I got really, really lucky and I got a roll of quarters and almost all of them are 1942.
I'm still here.
So 90% silver.
At one point when they announced they were going to start making the coins out of something other than, or take out most of the silver out or all the silver out, whatever, my grandmother went through, and my grandparents used to run a peach orchard, so they'd always have hey, good to see you, Jack. But they used to have a change thing. And so my grandmother took all the change out, got it, and changed out the money from the old stuff that was silver to the new stuff. And then, so she used to keep a container with all these, and it used to sit up on the top of her cabinets. Everybody knew about it. Everybody in our family knew about it. Hey, Nikki. But then at some point, my uncle, who has since passed away, but he used to be the type that he used to go through, and I guess you'd have to say he was a little bit of a sponge, maybe, and I ain't got any room to talk. Fact is, I lived at my grandmother's for a little while. When I was homeless, I started sleeping over there. And then I, went through, and I've had times in my life where things were kind of tough and I didn't have a place to stay. So, I ain't got much, we all, at that time, I was dependent on the kindness of friends and others. Once I got married, that all kind of went by the wayside because, with two incomes, it was a lot easier to make things happen. And anyhow, but anyhow, my uncle moved into her place, but I don't remember ever taking, anything. Well, I probably did at some point. I probably took something that didn't belong to me. In fact, I'm sure I have now that I think about it. but he took all that silver, all those silver coins, and I guess I don't know if he pawned them, spent them, whatever, but it did cause a few hurt feelings between well, at least between me and him, just because the fact that he at one point, I think seems like my grandmother told me that seems like she had told me that she wanted me to have them, but it doesn't matter because I love my grandmother. She was a sweet, sweet lady, and it's a full roll.
That's what happened to most of my collection when I was younger. When I was collecting, I had an older brother who had an addiction, so he'd find a way to feed his addiction no matter what. So he found all my valuables, a lot of my valuables, and pawned them or sold them, and used it for himself.
My wife's uncle, who had what is that? My wife's uncle had something where his intestines began to rot out, and they had to do surgery. And we let him stay over at our house, and he went through. And man, did he and his buddy rob me blind. I mean, took all sorts of stuff. And hey, sweetheart, you wanted to. Apparently, she's okay with being on camera at the moment. Guess I should just be happy. Well, the hardest thing about it is I try not to hold any grudges. Although when I do hold a grudge, it's hard for me to let go. In fact, at one point, I got upset with my wife and refused to celebrate her birthday for 17 years. But we get, the first two of the first, in fact, the first 3 times when we were after her first birthdays, her first 3 birthdays, she left me, all 3 times. So I decided, that wasn't a good day for me to celebrate. So I quit celebrating. Ultimately, I got over it though, and I get along a lot better these days. So, yeah, it only hurts you, and that is very true, Busby. That's very true.
I wanted to say, oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead, Jeff.
Is Kyle still up here? I wanted to say hi to Kyle.
He's here.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey,
Good to see you, buddy. Sorry I haven't made pretty good. I got some bad news I don't want to talk about on YouTube. Gary, that's the message I sent you. But we had, next, I'll just say this. We had a couple tragedies that happened, and your prayers are appreciated. God knows what they are. But Gary, I did leave you a private voice text message on your phone.
All right.
But I do appreciate people who pray, and I'm learning not to
I
talk
gotta
too much
take a
about
phone call. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, Kyle. I'm learning still not to talk about too much of my personal stuff on YouTube because people dig and pry and troll, and just the list goes on in the community that I quote unquote community I'm in. But so I'm just being real careful. But I do let a few people that I trust know. Devil Dog, I'll be giving you a voice text as well. But I wanted to let everybody know if you could keep my family, especially my ex-wife's family, in your prayers.
I will.
I'd appreciate that.
We'll do.
Yeah.
Sorry you're going through that, Jeff.
It's been a rough. Sorry.
No, you're good. And I will keep you in my prayers. The Busby said holding a grudge only tends to. All right, Kyle. I'm gonna add you again.
I'm sorry about that. I had to take a phone call real
You're
quick.
good.
You're good, Kyle.
So what was going on? I couldn't hear you.
Well, you may have to watch the rerun. I'll have to read that. Later. I got a text from Mark Kratz, an old buddy, and he's good people. If y'all don't know Mark Kratz, you ought to. He hadn't been much on YouTube that I've noticed lately, or maybe he started back and I just hadn't been getting his notifications, or it hadn't been popping up yet. But Mark Kratz is one of the most overqualified people on YouTube. he was a member of the SWAT team. He was in the military. He was in the police, police. He was on the motorcycle squad. He was, he taught law enforcement. He's just good people. It's somebody that I have a world of respect for. And if y'all get a chance to check out, Mark Kratz's channel, in fact, give me just a second. I'll drop his link.
I want to say, good to see Radio Jonesy. I haven't visited a lot of channels. I've been getting sober. I'm sober now over 4 months off alcohol. Praise the Lord. I did a lot of stupid things. I said a lot of stupid things. Once again, I'm going to apologize one more time for those who didn't hear it before. This community I deeply apologize. I can't express that enough. And but I've been sober now for 4 months, and I'm just trying to get my life straightened back up again, and things are going better as far as that goes. It's just, it's unfortunate, but it's part of life. Tragedies happen. I've had a lot of them the last year, and deaths in the family and suicides and stuff like that. Unaliving stuff. Sorry, I gotta be careful what I say. But or attempt of unaliving themselves, and that's just things that have happened. It happened so much the last year with everything else, and I fell off the wagon for a while. Most people know, and what else can I say? I would wake up the next day and not remember anything. People would tell me, I'm like, where did I come up with that? Or why would I say that to somebody? Or why, you know what I mean? And I'm not justifying it. I made the choice to do what I did, but I found out later on that there was a couple of medications that was prescribed by my doctor that I wasn't supposed to drink alcohol with, that was causing seizures and blackouts. And that's what happened a lot of the times. And I wouldn't remember a thing. I'd have to go back and look at the stream. They'd tell me it's this clip or, whatever. So again, for anybody who I may have offended, I deeply do apologize.
I understand. And the only direction we can actually go is forward.
Right.
I do want to talk about Busby's comment about holding on to grudge only hurts you. That's true. And it's wasted energy to sit there and try to go through. And I did drop Mark Kratz's link. Yeah, I just want to make sure I did. He's good people and a friend from way back. But you go through, and it's all about the quality of life. It should be all about, maintaining your own happiness. Some people are so resentful of so many things that their life is just full of, hate and hatred. And, I can't imagine living my life that way. Go ahead, P Digits.
Oh no, you said, hey, I hate people. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that's me.
Hey, but you're funny though. Everything you got some of the most interesting. I don't hate people. I just don't want them right here around me at my house. But it all becomes a question of being, your quality of life, I think. And just keep moving forward. I changed. I was 50 years old before I went through the police academy. I did a 180-degree turn. Now that kind of locks me in, I think, at this point in my life. Now I may try to do something different, when I retire from there, try maybe a new, but the truth is, if I was to change jobs at this point, I'd lose rank. I'd lose my pay rate, which is the best I've ever made. I'd lose quite a bit. And so when I do hang it up, maybe I'll try something different, even though I won't have, if I were to go to another police department, I'd have to, I could certainly do that. I'm certified, can work in any community policing out there, but you'd lose rank, you'd lose seniority, you'd lose pay, you'd lose, it's like starting over. And I don't mind doing that, but it's I guess I'm more interested in, when I was young, I didn't care. The future would take care of itself. And to be honest with you, when I was 20, I didn't think I'd live to see 30. When I was 30, I didn't believe I'd live to see 40. When I was 40, you know, et cetera, up to the point I hit 57 years old. When I hit 57, a lot of my family members, you know, if you look at my family history, a lot of them pass on at 57 for some reason. It's usually one of two things, either the big C or heart disease. And, you know,
Yeah. Cancer and heart disease is big in my family.
right. And mine too. And so now the women tend to, you know, a lot of them will live longer, but the men, you know, seem to be dropping around 57 years of age. Of course, my father is different than that. He's in his 80s now, and I'm fortunate enough. I am blessed. I am so blessed to have still both of my parents. We've only lost one member of my immediate family that I grew up with, and that was my baby brother. And he passed away from drug overdose.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. The top, not
My
yard length. It's something else. Okay. Well, let me.
I don't mean. Oh, I'm sorry. If I interrupt, I don't mean to. It's just there's a lag. My internet's really, really slow, so I apologize. I don't mean to talk over anybody, but I just wanted to say, if I could, as a lot of you know, so my son passed away during his graduation year. It was a very quick situation. He had flu-like symptoms. Come to find out, he had one of the most rarest cancers in the world. Very fast acting type cancers. He passed within a few days of going to the hospital. I've had my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law was murdered. The father of my nephew was also murdered. I've had so much tragedy in my life. It's like, it's not that I'm desensitized to it, but it happens so often. It's like, I don't know how else to respond to a lot of it. You know, it's like it's just one after another, something happens, you know. It's weird. But one thing I wanted to say, and I'm changing the subjects a little bit here, is you mentioned about the law enforcement thing. See, I never got to be a full-blown police officer. I was a peace officer. Yes, I was considered law enforcement.
Right.
But if I wanted to change, like when I went from the detention center to the prison, I had to. I worked in 4 different places. I had to take, every time I did, I had to take their academy.
Yeah.
So I've been in 4 different academies.
I know that some people have it harder than others. And go ahead. What were you going to say, Simon?
I was going to say hi to Rebecca.
Oh, hey, Rebecca.
Hello.
How you doing today, dog?
And I guess hi everybody on the panel.
Yeah, hello.
I've been on here for like 30 minutes. I hadn't said hi to anybody. I think Gary.
Hey.
Also, sorry.
Because I've been doing so much crocheting and knitting, my back's kind of hurting a little bit, but it's feeling better.
Hope you feel better. Maybe some ibuprofen might help.
I don't take that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I do know that everybody, the struggle is real regardless of what life you live. There is now, granted, it is harder for some than others. I get that, but because and I don't talk religion very often, and I know that some folks, some folks don't believe in. I was raised in the Christian church, and so I try to live my life according to what I believe. I do know that there's a lot of things in there that tends to be applicable to different things you might go through. And one thing that, again, I'm not trying to preach at anybody. I'm not trying to convert anybody. That is a very personal thing, and I don't feel like I need to be telling other people how to live their life. And that may be just the way I look at things. But it does, there is a scripture in there that talks about, take get the beam out of your own eye before you help take the splinter out of somebody else's.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, also judge not that lest you be not judged, or that you be not judged. So
The judge is right to judgment.
So, what that's talking about, the first one is talking about though, is it's a question of perspective. If you've got a splinter in your eye, it looks a whole lot larger, like a beam, as opposed to being in somebody else's eye. If you go to try to help somebody with, if you've ever tried to help somebody take something out of their eye, because they've got an eyelash or something, that can be so annoying. An eyelash in your, under your eyelid, man, I have
It
to go.
hurts.
It hurts. But it hurts them. It hurts you a lot more than it hurts somebody else. So you have to keep that into. Have a good night, Kyle. Thank you for coming. Anyhow, I just thought I'd mention it, and it's what I it gave me mind to that it's always a question of perspective.
Yeah, and you can't really help anybody without helping yourself first.
That's
Period.
right.
Right. That's true. That's one thing
So
that
true.
I had to realize is why should I either judge or try to help fill in the blank, all sides of the, when I can't even help myself in a sense, especially when I was drinking. I mean, it's like I would tell other people something or preach, you know what I mean, or witness, and I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Who's going to listen to a drone? You know what I mean? And it took a lot, but it was about 7 months, and then finally, and it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. My doctor had to give me anti-seizure pills, anti-anxiety pills to help me get off of the alcohol because I could have a heart attack or die even.
Yeah.
And it was very, very difficult. And but I feel, health-wise, I still have my chronic health issues. But my doctor did tell me that I was near the point of cirrhosis of the liver. I mean, it can still happen, but as long as he gave me some tips. Coffee actually is good for your liver. There's some natural supplements you can buy that's good for your organs, and I've been taking
coffee. The issue that I have with coffee, and don't get me wrong, I drink way too much of it. But the issue that I have with coffee is it tends to desensitize the body's, or it makes the body where it's not as sensitive to insulin. So your body tends to produce more insulin. And so,
yes,
when I'm trying to lose weight and I do the low carb, high protein thing, I understand that, Busby, but when I'm trying to drop weight, what I do is I go on a low carb, high protein diet. I take a vitamin every day and try to eat a salad regularly because, well, that's just important. But I also have to stop coffee. I have not been able to stop coffee this time. And I don't know why, because I don't know if it's the headaches I get when I stop or if it's, which is just the body getting used to not being on it.
What happens with me is I'll drink, and I don't drink as much as I used to, Gary, but I used to drink almost a pot of coffee a day, just a pot of coffee. I'd sip it all day, and I would have these crashes that were so severe. If I didn't eat something within just a couple of minutes, I would pass out. And so because of that, my doctor said, you need to come in and get tested for hyperglycemia or possible diabetes, because there's one thing to have a caffeine crash or a sugar crash with the caffeine, but it's another thing where I can't even move. I'm almost like paralyzed if I don't get something to eat, like within just a couple of minutes after about, say I have, a couple cups of coffee or whatever. Well, about an hour, maybe 2 hours later, give or take, I'll have this weakness that comes over me, and I know I have to eat something. And if I don't get something, I will, like I said, I'll pass out. It's scary. So he said that sounds like you might have pre-diabetic symptoms or possible hypoglycemia. Yeah. And so I'll be getting checked out that soon.
You know, but it's, you know, for me, it becomes a question of, you know, hey, everything you put in your body does something to it. What, and even if it's just, and, well, even if it's, and you know, the old statement, you are what you eat is real. And they say it seems, and it is cliche, but the truth is, you know, the food that you eat does have an effect on you. And so,
Yes. Sure does.
I'll have to try that, Busby.
I also wanted to update. So Gary, last time I was on here, kind of a different subject, but I was trying so hard to get to 2,500 subs. There are some people that are just trying to, you know what I'm talking about, Gary, in my chats. I'll just leave it at that. But there are some people that try real hard to prevent me from getting to my next goal. Because I'm trying to take, I left you a private message, all of that private message, but I'll say a little bit here is my goal is to change my channel direction completely. And I want to keep it private for now, but I want to do something adventurous. And so I finally reached 2,500 subscribers. So thank you all for, if anybody's here that did sub, I appreciate that. It seemed like it took forever to get to 2,500, but I appreciate everybody that did. If you haven't, please check out my channel. I appreciate that. That's okay. I just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you, everybody. I mentioned it last time I was on Gary's channel as well.
I need 174 to get to 1,000. So I'm on.
Oh,
Drop your channel so I can sub to it. If I'm not already subbed, I can't keep up with everybody, obviously, but I do try to drop by and leave a thumb up and a view or a comment or something.
Yeah, I'm yes, I can barbecue.
hey, if you're in the chat right now, if you're watching this on replay, go through and I'm about to drop his link if he hadn't already.
Just
I think he did. And go and share his channel. Hang on. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I got to answer this to him.
Simon, I'm catching up with you, man. I think I am 871 subs away from 1,000.
We should combine forces. We'll have 1,000 together.
Yeah.
Yes, I can barbecue. I don't know. I think your name is Simon. I could be wrong. I don't know personally.
Yes.
I just subbed to you. I'll drop a little comment on one of your shorts just to say howdy.
Yep.
And so I think I'm your 827th and 28th.
You sure are. I just got a notification.
Cool. So
who's the person directly above me?
P digits.
Oh, that's P digits. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I could be lying.
I was looking at the name and I'm like,
Oh, look at my name.
Yes, I know P digits. He wants a mask and I'm not making one.
A ski mask
No,
for my moonlighting job.
No ski mask.
I have to get away from people like YouTube police and things of that nature.
Hey, I don't know what I missed. I muted the thing so I could actually talk to Tim. But
you didn't miss much because I was trying to figure out who the person is over there.
Oh, you talking about P digits?
P digits, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Challenge
it's
Coin
okay.
Thief. It's Challenge Coin Thief.
Yes, he's yeah.
Hey,
and I'm challenge coin collector.
Yeah, there we go.
I have been sitting here and I keep seeing people talk about stevia.
Yes.
And I cannot right now. My brain is like, whatever's going on. There was another that is corn based. I think it's corn based. And I can't remember what the sugar is called.
So is it a sugar alternative?
Yes, it is. It is.
Would it be
xylitol? Xylitol. I just remember.
Oh, xylitol. Okay.
Xylitol.
I think stevia is natural and it's more healthy for you as a sugar substitute. Am I right about that or am I wrong?
Well, according
You're
to the
correct.
chat, it's all kinds of wrong with it.
Well, I don't think it has
I
the, what's it
use-
called? Aspartame. I don't think it has
I use-
aspartame in it.
I use honey.
Yes. Honey's a good alternative.
That's my sugar is honey.
And it helps with allergies too, by the way,
Yep.
especially your local honey.
It certainly does.
Spoonful
And by
a
the way,
day.
Rebecca, good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. I know you're dealing with your back or whatever.
Yeah, just when you're working on something and it's right here, you're not pulling I'm not pulling my shoulders back, and I should, so it started just kind of hurting my upper back, so I'm taking a break today.
Yeah,
You're
you're always doing something on camera. You're always, I think it's, correct me, I think you're crocheting. I think that's what it's called. If I got the right word.
I crochet and I also knit.
Yeah. You're like my daughters and my ex-wife. They do the same thing all the time. They like DIY, do it yourself, for Christmas, even birthdays and Halloween and fill in the blank holidays and whatnot. They, no matter, we whatever, have lots of money, it doesn't matter. They just love arts and crafts. They like the DIY stuff. And we've always been like that. And, there's something special about receiving a gift or purchasing something from somebody like in the Navajo Nation. Tourists come from all over the world. You get Navajo blankets, dolls, fill in the blank. And there's just something special about something that's made homemade, that's a lot. And you're supporting that family, you're supporting that person or their family or their tribe or whatever, as opposed to going to some big outlet store and paying an arm and a leg for something that may only last a few years,
Yeah.
And
It's kind of like this little thing.
mhm,
That's a scrubby
nice,
that I made these two today.
very nice.
If
My
y'all would,
grandmother did my Christmas stocking that I use to this day, and they would make little ornaments with, I guess it was crochet, and I'm not really sure, but those things are special. They always go up.
This is what I make them on.
very cool. If y'all don't mind, if you
Oh,
are in,
wow.
make sure you share out Simon's channel so that he can go. We're trying to help get him to 1,000 subs. I suspect he probably has that watch hours, just needs the, I don't know. I'm in there on Tuesday night. How are your watch hours?
4,400 plus.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of people that watch him.
Yeah,
Is it-
I have the partial monetization with the super chat memberships and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
the 500 sub one. Yeah.
So I'm there. I just want to get over to that 1,000.
Your channel, is that the one I just, Yes I Can Barbecue is what I
Correct.
just subscribed to, but who's the ones on panel? Of course, I've always been subscribed to Rebecca for a few years now, but
Well, top left is YouTube Police.
yeah, of course. Yeah. He's my friend.
I'm sorry. No, just kidding.
But
Oh, what?
the other two, I'm already subscribed to Rebecca.
I'm Yes I Can Barbecue. So
Okay, so Challenge Coin Thief, I'd like to sub to you. I think
That's
I'd like
me.
to visit your.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, oh,
I just changed my name just because they were showing off challenge coins.
oh. Well, the other person. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I try to
Yeah.
help as many people as I can.
And the guy in the middle is P Digits.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could
Well, I
drop
didn't
your
know
link.
if you wanted us to share that or not. So I was,
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm
But
just
I
trying
do-
to
I-
get this.
Pete Digits is awesome though. He's one of the-
Everybody else does content way, way more than I do. So yeah, I don't toss myself out there that much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm 871 away from 1,000. So
Well, I'm
Hey.
just trying to be a blessing.
I put P Digits link in there in the chat. So yes, I would strongly encourage people to go over and see P Digits as well. You know, wait a minute. He's at 129 subscribers. I'm not sure. We have to go at least 100 at a time. So
130 now. I just sent to him.
Well,
Watch
we
it.
need
Watch
to
out,
keep-
Simon. Here I come.
he gonna chase you. By the way, I guess I could drop my link that I'm working on. I don't know if, and you may not be interested in it, but that's okay. I'm gonna drop, my Belt Loop 29 homestead in there so that it give me a little bit of breathing room. Right now I'm at 502. I just want to keep it above 500. I mean, a goal is going to be 500. Obviously, next goal I work on is going to be try to get everything up to 1,000.
I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to all your channels, I believe, Gary. The Critters one, the Homestead, the
I appreciate it.
Member, the Police. I try to subscribe to all the. I only have one channel. I mean, I need to start a backup. People have been saying that for a while, over a year. I've been talking about it too. I just haven't done it. I just want a channel. I don't monetize it. I just want a channel where I can feel more freer on some things and talk about other issues and whatnot, and not to worry about all the, you know what I mean? Just to have fun, a little bit of fun and shooting breeze and all that stuff. So I probably should start a backup channel.
That's one thing I really like about this community is I think they put fun in priority.
And it's more mature.
Stay away from the drama and
Well, I love this community so much, and I wasn't around for a while because I didn't want to, because I was coming around. And I got involved in some things when I was drinking that I lost a few friends over it. I feel so bad about it, and it's my fault. I mean, what else can I say? It's my fault. But I was embarrassed, and I didn't come around too much. Now I talked to a couple of people, behind the scenes, and I really appreciate it. Like Gary and Devil Dog and a few others, that would still talk to me, and they forgave me and everything, and some other people did as well, and I appreciate that. But I don't expect everybody to forgive me. I get that, but I hope I can find some redemption with a few people. And I don't want to say their names, obviously, but I hope they watch this or watch you now or see it later and know what I'm talking about, because they were so good to me and my grandkids. They'd always send my grandkids candy and treats and souvenirs from where they're at and whatnot. And I ruined that friendship because of my stupidity,
But you hadn't run your friendship with me. I'll tell you that.
Oh no, I know that.
The truth is, I believe that, we're fortunate to be blessed by people coming into our lives that are good people. That just because I may not, everybody has a life to live, and truthfully, everybody's kind of focused on the things they do. And so I don't think that anybody, I can't be at everybody's live. I can't watch everybody's video. And unfortunately, I've kind of given myself the freedom not to. And it's just because of the fact I can't do it. Now, if you see me somewhere, it's because I want to be there. But I also understand that I'm doing my own thing. How could I expect everybody to be at my live stream when I can't make everybody else's?
Right. Yeah. I was going to say too, and I probably should go and watch just some simple videos. But for some reason, I think I mentioned this last time, if Devil Dog's still here, I don't get any notifications for Devil Dog anymore. So I don't know if he's still doing lives or if I'm just not getting them, if I'm shadow banned. I don't know. I'm still a member.
Hey, I tell you this, Jeff. Devil Dog has taken a job to where, to pay his bills. He was not making enough on YouTube, and I don't think anybody should expect that from YouTube. he was at one time, he was all over trying to help people do a lot of, helping people make icons and making, avatars and back or screens and all this kind of stuff. And there was a lot of people wasn't paying him for it. Even though he spent hours doing it. And he finally had to, so at these days, you still see him. He still supports when he can, but he's spending his time, working, making money, and he still has his live stream on Saturdays at 7. And so if you ever get a chance to come in on Saturdays, you're welcome to. Hey, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. Good to see you.
Daniel, I see him. I don't know. I assume that's him. Is it Danielle or Danielle? And Daniel see me. Hey, Daniel, I see him in almost every channel I go to on YouTube. He is such a big supporter. And Daniel, hello. We haven't really talked much, but almost every part of YouTube, I see him. Whether it be a karaoke channel, an outdoors channel, or whatever. And he's a big supporter. So shout out to Daniel.
He's got a pretty big channel too, over 5,000.
Wow.
And he's got like maybe 10,000. He's got almost 10,000 videos.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
And in
impressive.
fact, Daniel, I thought I already said to you, but I just did now. He's at 5.09 thousand subscribers. Wow. That's awesome.
I'm just checking mine right now on his, and I am subscribed. So far, was subscribed on 2 of my channels. I just added 2, and I was subscribed on 3 channels, and I just added the other 2.
Hey Gary,
And
I'm gonna hop down. I'm gonna go help my mom with dinner, but I'll try to be back on later if you're still on.
I have no idea how long I'm gonna be on. It's just when the mood hits me.
All right,
When I'm
see y'all later.
Thanks
Right,
for
take
coming.
care.
It's great seeing you, Simon.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye, Simon.
Yes, sir.
But we do try to help. I love this community. I have a passion for this community. Even then, with doing so much YouTube related, it's hard to do it sometimes. And so
Yeah.
there are times when I've had to kind of take a break, and I've had to give myself permission that I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be me and come in and enjoy people's company. We're very blessed in this community in that we don't get a lot of trolls. Every now and then we've had, people try to do things, come up on panel, and I've had to deal with them. And, sometimes, but that falls on me. And so, I don't even know how many channels I've got or how many names I've got blocked of people, but every one of them somebody who tried to come up and tried to, expose themselves or something on here. And tell you what, let me go look.
I have over 200 people still on my ban list, and I've been unbanning a lot, and it's like a gamble, if you will. Now the ones that are doxing people, like they're even their channel, their sock accounts, they're trolls, but it'll have somebody's full dogs. I will not take them out of the ban list. They're going to stay in the ban list, But even some of maybe the trolls or whatever that I haven't seen in a while, I like to try to give everybody a chance, second chance, sometimes a third. I'm usually pretty quick to forgive. That's one of my things. It may be a good thing, it may be a bad thing. I don't know. The Bible says it's a good thing, but I'm quick to forgive. And sometimes I'll give people another chance or a third chance, and they come right in, they come in hot.
Yeah, I understand. Let me address this with, I ain't normal either, Joanne. And Joanne said something about being a member. That does not change. Whether somebody is a member of my channel or not does not change how I feel about them. It never has, and it never will. The fact is, Joanne, I love you for being you. You're good people, and I've been blessed by your presence here. So thank you, and don't ever feel bad about not being a channel member, because you know what? That don't matter. You're good people, and you will always be welcome here. And I mean, and that's just God's honest truth.
I had to get rid of a lot of my memberships because what would happen, Gary, is I would forget, the certain dates or whatever I would sign up as a member, and I would go up it never really happened to me before. My bank would go overdraft, because I had it taken, for deposit or, what I mean? They take it directly out through PayPal, it goes to my bank or whatnot. And so I was like, wow, I didn't realize I was a member of so many channels. And I just simply couldn't afford it anymore. So I'm only a member of like maybe 5, maybe 7 channels, you, Devil Dog, a few others,
And
those,
I do appreciate that, Jeff. But you know what? You'd still be a friend of mine, whether you remember or not.
oh, I know that. I just want to make a point.
Well, and I appreciate that. Membership, that's just, it is a way. Some people want to be members, and some people, for me, it's really a thing where if somebody else is a member of mine, I'm going to reciprocate, and I will go through and become a member of theirs.
I do it mostly for support. I don't necessarily watch all the member videos or anything. If I catch them, I catch them. If I don't, I don't. I just like to do it to support, like, like you and Devil Dog. I would never not become a member, if that makes sense. Now, if something happened where my bank did its thing and it did put me as a non-member, I would become a member again as soon as I could. That's happened before too with a couple of channels where I was like, oh shoot, I didn't have enough money in my or whatever, my PayPal or my account or whatever. It dropped the membership. I'm like, oh, I feel horrible. They probably think I'm mad or something. Some people understand, and then But so far, I think you and Devil Dog, I've been a member the longest. I think over 13, 14 months, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right. By the way, T-Bone, you're welcome. The way I look at it is fairly simple. I think most everybody ought to be a mod. That way, it keeps other people from timing you out. But I will say this also: if I've just met somebody, I've seen T-Bone a time.
T-Bone, I see you too.
And so, but if they've got, if you think about it, if for the most part, if they come in here and they are a content creator, now that doesn't mean it's only content creators that come in here, because there are people that come in that aren't. But if they come in and they've got stuff on their channel, at one point or another, they have, created content, which means they're not just another, in my opinion, they're not just another troll. And so, if somebody starts creating problems, I may have to look at, and not that I'm expecting any, but
right.
Typically, most of the people that come in here are content creators. We don't have a lot of drama here, even we've had it once or twice, but it's not a real consistent thing. And that may be just because of the fact I'm such a small channel. I'm not a big channel, never have been, never will be.
Well, never say never. Never say never. Maybe one day you'll get that 100K with a check mark.
I like this, Jeff. We do have so many different types of people. You heading out? I guess so. Sorry, I was talking too much there, Digits.
T-Bone, I just subbed to you. He's got 57,000 subscribers. Wow, that's awesome, T-Bone.
That's cool. I just connected with him. I didn't realize how many he had, and less than 1,000 videos. That's impressive.
Great job. That is. I just subbed to him. That is really, really cool.
That's a huge channel.
I don't even think when I came up on your live that time when I was the third person, Gary, I wasn't even a channel yet. I was just,
Oh, I
Oh,
know.
wow.
I was just a supporter at that time.
Wow.
And now I've got over 700. I've got
Yeah.
over 750.
You're almost to that 1K. That's good.
Well, most of my time, honestly, is spent watching the smaller channels, and it's because there's a personal touch to it, that you don't, I don't really, most of the time, I don't get when I go to some of the larger channels. Lord knows when I first started doing YouTube, it was almost all these huge mega channels because people with like 200,000, a million subscribers, and my pleasure, T-Bone. I'm gonna have to, take a look at more at your stuff. But for me, it just seems a little bit more personal, and that's why I'm here. That's why YouTube is. It's not for the money, because Lord knows it don't pay me hardly anything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't pay much, and that's okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all a story I don't think I've ever told. In part, well, I may have told it once, and so somebody in here may have heard it, but it's a rarity. I don't tell it very often, and the reason for that is because it makes me look stupid. I mean, like an idiot, truthfully. But there was a time in my life. I'm doing better right now than I have probably in my entire life. There's very few things that I would change in my life. Seriously, let's see, I was really small and never forgot I coming from. Well, thank you, T-Bone. I appreciate that. When I was not too long after I got married, I guess it was 10 years, something like that, 5 years into it. And I guess I could look it up because there's a way to find out. 1 year, me and Tammy were behind in our payments on the lot, and we were living in a single wide trailer. We only had one vehicle between us.
Been there.
Just real tough times. Anyhow, my wife at that time was working for Walmart. So that had to be, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago. And 1 year for Valentine's Day, we've never been the type, and part of that is probably because the fact we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But we've never been the type to really go through and give gifts. We're not a big gifting group, family, and so anyhow, she went through 1 year for Valentine's Day. She gave me 2 bags. I'm sorry, give me just a second. She gave me 2 bags of M&Ms for Valentine's Day. Well, I opened up one, and this is part where I look stupid. I open up the M&Ms. I always have a tendency when I eat M&Ms, I pour out the M&Ms into my hand and look at them. And the reason for that is because I've always heard about the green M&M supposed to do something for you, turn you on or whatever, aphrodisiac. It's just a stupid thing that I got in the habit of doing when I was just young. Anyhow, so I always, when I pour out of the M&M, when I eat M&Ms, I always used to pour out the M&Ms in my hand and look at them. Then I'd throw them in my mouth. I'd put them under my tongue till the outer shell kind of melted down, and then I'd eat them. Anyhow, she gave me 2 bags of M&Ms. One was a plain, one was peanut. And so on the peanut M&Ms, I opened the bag, I poured it into my hand, and there's a gray M&M there. Weirdest looking thing, because all the rest of them are like red and green and brown and, all these other, but you don't see a gray M&M. So I looked at it, I said, well, that's weird. And I set it to the side just because I thought it was weird.
Right.
And That's not M&M's. That's
The purple pill.
I hear you, Busby. But all right.
Or the
Well,
blue
anyhow,
pill.
I finished eating my M&Ms and I opened the wrapper. Just because I thought, well, maybe there's something in here talking about it. I opened the wrapper and it said that I won $1 million.
Whoa.
All right. And I know y'all probably can't see this, but right now, because of it, my hair is standing on end just thinking about it. I'm getting chill bumps just thinking about how stupid I was. But I went through and I put that one to the side, and I was at home, didn't have a vehicle. We couldn't afford a phone at that time, so we didn't have a phone. That was back before cell phones and all this other stuff. All right. I didn't have a vehicle, so I couldn't go ask, Tammy about it. Yeah, that's been a long time ago. Anyhow, but still, I ate the other M&Ms. All right. Well, you go long enough, I am just bad enough at craving, hey, I'm obsessive. I can't help it. I thought, well, hey, I got I've got this wrapper here. Surely that would be enough. At first I kind of toyed back and forth with it being like the what is that, mail where you may have you're the next winner, this, that, and other, some kind of a clearinghouse thing. That's what I'm about. All right. So I went through and I thought, well, surely that would be, the wrapper will be enough. So I ate the gray M&M. First stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. Well, the biggest stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. I went through and then I went out and I tried to find somebody whose phone, I couldn't find anybody at home. I couldn't find anybody, I didn't have a way to contact anybody. Yes, Publishers Clearinghouse. So I didn't have, I was stuck there by myself. It was almost like I was out even though I was in the middle of a trailer park, there wasn't anybody at home. Nobody had a phone. There was no way for me to contact anybody. And I didn't have a vehicle to go, and to where Tammy was working. She was at work that day. And yes, it is so, Busby. It is so. I swear to you, as sure as I'm sitting here right now. So I sat there, and that's not even the worst of it. So I set the wrapper to the side, and I said, surely the wrapper will be enough. At least I justified in my head eating that gray M&M. All right. Well, Tammy comes home. I mean, I guess, she worked late enough to where I went to bed. And so when Tammy comes home, she had to have cleaned up, and she put apparently she threw away the wrapper.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So, but see, the way my mind bounces from thing to thing and what have you, I didn't even think about it after that. Because the next day after I woke up, it wasn't on my mind. I didn't think about it. It just, nothing. In fact, it didn't dawn on me till, a couple of months later when I was watching a thing on the news, and it talked about somebody else who had found a gray M&M. They were at a basketball game, apparently. Well, burn up. That's right. It's like burning up the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Golden ticket.
And, but I saw that on the news where somebody else had won $1 million. And so, man, I freaked out. At this point, Tammy was in bed asleep. I've always been a night owl. And for whatever reason, I was up. It was like the 10 o'clock news that came on. Man, it's like I was stunned, because it all came back to me that I had the M&M, I had the wrapper, I had well, so I went into the bedroom where Tammy was at. I said, Tammy, I ate our retirement. I ate our new home. I ate our new vehicles. I ate, Tammy said, what? Because she was asleep. I woke her up to do this, and she got a little upset with me, I guess. And I told her what happened. And she said, well, can we talk about this tomorrow? I said, sure. And that one thing I admit it, got so depressed after that. I did not leave I did not leave that trailer for 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
3 months I spent in that trailer, didn't go anywhere. Couldn't bring myself to go anywhere just because of the fact that I was so depressed. You have to understand where I was at. I've always been poor. Always have. I'm doing better now than I ever have. But at that time, it would have meant the world to me. I had to come to the realization that the only thing that got me out of that trailer was just coming to the realization that I'm not meant to have money. And so it's
God has a plan for everything.
Well, it's one of the reasons why, money doesn't mean anything. I mean, you have to have it. It is a tool. It is not money does not control me. I took a job for less money to become a police officer. I realized at that moment that, part of my epiphany, I guess, with it was just that life is more about happiness than it is money. People that win the lottery if they were happy before, they'll be happy after. If they were unhappy before, they will be unhappy after it as well. It doesn't solve problems. In fact, for some people, it creates more. And
Did you know that 98%, and this is a few years back when I saw this, it was on the news, 98% of every lottery winner ends up bankrupt within 1 to 2 years?
I have heard that. Well, see, here's the thing. In my opinion, some people have the impression that I'm rich just because of the fact I give away money freely. Now, I don't give everybody, but money, I live a very understated life. I do not spend money on unnecessary things. I, have lived, even regardless of my income, I've tried to live below my means. And so when I do something, if I give money to somebody because they have a flat and don't have a spare, it's because I'm trying to help. If I go and I give money to somebody who needs, help buying food for their dogs, it's because I don't want their dogs to go hungry. If I go through, and I've done a lot of these things, but here's the thing. You have some people, you have to be able to differentiate between people that are just users and people that, I think it has its place, Joanne. I honestly do think that money does, but it does not give you happiness. You are right.
Right.
But I had somebody, and another God's honest truth, another story I don't know if I've told before, but I'll tell it right now. When I first started doing YouTube, I have a tendency to be goal oriented. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was how could I actually grow my channel? And I wanted to get to, I don't know, it was 100 subscribers, 500 subscribers, something like this. That was, and I had just become a police officer not too long before. And I think I had close to 5,000 people that were on my friends list. And that was just because back when you become a police officer, everybody and their mama, for whatever reason, starts sending you friend requests. I guess they just want to, it could be that people, there's a lot of people out there that respect, the law, even though there's a lot of people that hate it. And you still see that. And I'm thankful for all those individuals that feel the way that I do. But anyhow, I started sending out these messages, individual messages, as opposed to group messages. And I did that because I hated being part of a group message where somebody says, "Hey, go do this, go do this." But I'd ask them to check out my channel. And so at one point, and so from time to time on Facebook, this was on Facebook, from time to time, people would send me a message, and at one point I had somebody that claimed they were a woman. They met, "Hey, Ronald, good to see you."
Howdy.
But at this point, it was somebody who was holding themselves out to be a woman. I don't know if it was or not. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, they said they were in Houston. They would, and went into all this thing. At one point, they said something other. They threw out a little bait, I guess you could call it, saying, "Hey, I do adult videos." I said, "Well, that's nice. I'm happy for you." I was not interested in trying to get them to send me an adult video or anything like that. So I just kept, the conversation going in a different direction, whatever. Anyhow, then they came up with this thing that said something about they were, their refrigerator was empty and their grandmother that lived with them and their child, didn't have any food to eat. So they were hungry, again, bait. So, knowing that a lot of people do stuff like that, I tend to be very skeptical. If anyhow, so I said, I tell you what is the address what is the Walmart that is closest to your house? I said, if they're in Houston, there should be a Walmart somewhere near them. At least a Walmart I know Houston has Walmarts. So I went through and I said, "Hey, yes, that's very nice. Rebecca, we'll show it in just a minute." But I said, "Where is the Walmart next to you, closest to your house? Here's what I'll do." And they asked, I guess they says, "If you don't believe me, I'll show you a picture of my refrigerator and it's empty." I said, "Well, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying anything negative about that." So anyhow, I asked them what the address of the closest Walmart was. I was going to call that Walmart. I wasn't going to trust the person, but I will trust the store manager there. And I was going to call the store manager and offered to buy them $300 worth of food, so they could fill up their refrigerator. Then they tried to say, "Well, I'm not going to have anybody tell me what I can eat." I said, I wasn't trying to do that. Says, instead, they would just send me money on Cash App. No, I don't do that. I don't,
Right.
I tend to be very skeptical. In some ways, I'm too naive, but there are other ways, I don't want anybody to go hungry. And so that, I've taken people out and gone grocery shopping with them. My money is too hard to come by for me to squander it. And I'm not going to give it to somebody who's just trying to soak me. So, but I'm going to do what I can to help other people. And sometimes it's just helping them, sometimes it may be just helping them get more subs on here. Sometimes that's, if that's their goal, I want to try to help them. Anyhow, I'm
I don't
sorry.
want to. No, it's okay. I want to say two things before I forget because Anyways, I haven't been diagnosed, but I do take memory. I might have pre-dementia, but anyways, I wanted to say two things. First of all, just very quickly, Gary, I believe, was my first member, and I appreciate that, Gary. And secondly, I have a very similar story about the $1 million thing. So remember when McDonald's came out with the Monopoly game?
Yeah.
So me and my two buddies, this is back when I was about 19 years old. I was pretty young. We got our apartment. We were bachelors. Well, one of my roommates and I, we were living in Minneapolis, St. Paul at the time. That's where I was living. And one of my friends said, I was never really been anywhere. And I said, well, I really want to go back to Dallas, Texas and see my friend. That's kind of where I grew up, And so we got, and you have to forgive me, I may have it backwards, but we got parked. Uh-oh, did we lose Gary?
Do I know?
Oh, you're still there. Okay, my phone is not calling. Okay, there we go.
No,
So
I hit the thing because I had to cut off the fan. It's getting kind of cold in here.
we got either Park Place or Boardwalk, one of those in Minneapolis, and I set it in my room on my dresser in this little dish thing where I kept all my Monopoly things. And we went to Dallas and got the other one, which I think I got Park Place in Minneapolis and Boardwalk in Dallas, Texas. And we were and it was the last day we were there, and we're like, oh, I got $1 million. This is like 1996 or 97, somewhere around that area. And, or at least before that, actually. No, it would have been 95, 94, 95. And we were so excited. We're going back home. I won $1 million from this Monopoly game. I was so excited. Well, our other roommate decided while we were gone to hire a maid and they come in and clean up all of our disaster. You know, we were young bachelors, you know, and guess what? The other Monopoly piece was gone, all of them. So that's a similar story I have about winning $1 million that I almost got. And oh man, that hit hard, you know, especially as a 19, 20-year-old, however old I was at that time.
You know, I know exactly what you mean. I didn't have a maid or anything like that. I've never had, you just had somebody try to scam you, Joanne. It happens, unfortunately. There's too many people, if they work near as hard at a job as they do to try to scam people, you know. But hey, I had at one time when I was young and working, I actually bought and financed a gold chain necklace. Hey, it was back in the day, you know. I used to go out when I was fairly young, and I'd hit the dance clubs, and you know, right. I'd go to some places, buy a few fancy outfits, working, and I remember, you know, and when I got married, obviously we had hardly anything, but at that time, I bought one of these necklaces. I had it hanging on something in the bathroom, and somebody stole it out of our. I think it may have been somebody with the maintenance, maybe over when we were in family housing, going to school at USM. But you know, it's you try to get. I guess in a way, I still try to maintain my faith in people and just understand that it's individuals. You can't, you know, some people want to try and say, it's just like the people that hate police officers, you know, and there are those out there. It's because a lot of them have never had a positive, you know, encounter with police. Some people, the only time they ever run into police is when they're giving them a ticket or, you know, and so.
Or they're a criminal.
Well, as far as being a criminal, there are people that are, you know, I think that it's almost like you don't want to ever base a judgment on anybody on their worst, you know, their worst act. Hey,
hey, Beverly. No, what I meant by that was, oh, sorry. What I meant by that was, let me give you one example if I could. So when I got injured in the line of duty, and yes, I had to sue the county I worked for, and I did win, but I don't want to get into that. I was injured. I couldn't work for a while. Then I was able to work at Walmart 4 hours a day as a people greeter. This is back in 2004. And the previous facility that I worked as a corrections officer, there's a guy in there, and he was charged with murder one, and he had the high risk uniform. We had to cuff him before we could take him out of the cell. He had 2 officers at all times escorting around, and I was the type of person that I was respectful, but I also went by the book. Like, I didn't want to get any kind of trouble. I wanted to do everything the right way. And we had our times, you know. Well, here I am one day. I'm standing there in the front at Walmart as a people greeter, and somebody comes up behind me, grabs my shoulder, shakes me a little bit, and then starts laughing. He goes, "Hey, Jeff, how you doing?" I was like, "Wait a minute, I know you." He's like, "They finally found the real person." So he was in there innocent. He was innocent, completely innocent. He was treated as a murder one suspect with a high risk situation. And he says, I just want to let you know, sorry for the hard times I did give you, and you were a great CO. And I appreciated that. You know what I mean? So I don't mean all criminals. I'm just saying there are certain people that live a life of crime and they just can't stand police officers. And that's what I meant by that. Just that way.
I was going to mention on Joanne said she loves police officers, most of them. The fact is, it's, you know, there are good people and bad people in every walks of life. Whether you cannot tell by their occupation, unless of course their occupation is just a crime lord or something like that. I don't know, but you know, even then, I guess they could have a heart of gold. I don't know, but you can't tell by whether they're a man or a woman or whether the color of their skin or any of that. You just can't tell. Unfortunately, it takes a little time to get to know somebody to determine whether, you know, you believe that person is a good person or bad person or somebody. Right. And by the way, Miss Rebecca, I'm gonna begify you. You can show that now where you want to.
Yeah, I want to see this. I saw a little bit of it. I want to see the full screen if I can.
Is that a scrubby?
It's a scrubby.
Okay. Excellent. By the way, for those y'all that don't know it,
oh, that's beautiful.
Is going to be sending me, if she hadn't already.
Well, if you looked at your phone and you got your text, you have your tracking number.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, I have one question.
And I've got some good news for everybody.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm on disability.
What I
found out from the tax people that prepared my taxes. If you send money to my PayPal, make sure you do it friends and family only.
Right.
I was waiting on the 1099 to come from PayPal. Because you're using the friends and family, it is a gift.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
So there is not going to be any problem.
Okay. Did they tax gifts though?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, over 10,000 they do, I believe. My
over 10,000. Well, I did not get 10,000.
Yeah, it's like I'm my friend's he's a former combat veteran Marine and not Devil Dog, it's somebody else. I've interviewed him twice on my channels. He goes by Ben, BIN, and we're good friends in real life. And he's you know, he does taxes every year and everything now, and among other things. I said, well, as far as YouTube, you know, along with the actual AdSense check that I occasionally receive, and the the super chat, whatever you want to call it, and then of course there's the Cash Apps, maybe a PayPal here and there. But the most money I ever made in a year on YouTube is around $500. And I was like, do I have to report that? Because they're all gifts. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, there's different, he's going to get back to me because he wants to make sure he gives me the correct answer. But like he says, as long as it's under $10,000, you should not have any issues to file that as part of your, you know what I mean? Because they're gifts. I'll wait till he gets back to me on that, just to be on the safe side. That's what I've been told.
But what's been happening is I'm making a whole bunch of these little scrubbies, and I've got a popcorn can back there that I'm going to just put them all in. So now I'll show you the two colors that I'm putting together now. Pink and green.
Nice.
So I'm just making a whole bunch of these little scrubbies on this.
Cool. Well, I know that you. By the way, there are quite a few folks that don't intend to start out making videos that end up, you know, making videos, and so sometimes if you subscribe to somebody and they start putting out videos, I look at it. It's an opportunity for you to it's an opportunity for you to get to know them while before they, some people are going to blow up. I don't believe that most people will blow up, but I mean, if you look at what happened with gardening in 2020, there were so many people concerned about that type. Gardening took a huge jump, and because of the whole Kofifi thing. So
Yeah.
those individuals that have been putting up videos on how to garden, took a huge, surge because people want to know how to do it, and they're looking at all these videos on
my bottle.
and it has propelled some people to up over, a million subscribers. Now the fact is my channels typically are not, I mean, there's no way that any of my channels will ever do that. And I'm fine with that. That's no big deal. I'm here because I want to have fun and I want to enjoy people's company. And it's a lot like just hanging out at the pub, as Jonesy says. So,
Yep.
I've actually, and I'm not tooting a horn, I'm just making a statement. I've actually given way more money to people on YouTube than I've ever received. That's just the way. I don't look at it as a money-making machine or anything like that at all. But whenever I do get a small check or whatever, it usually goes to my grandkids, just to be honest with you, my kids, to help them or to help somebody else.
Well, I appreciate that, Busby. That's true, but it's, the last thing I would ever expect. I mean, if you think about it, the people that come around and hang out are such a wide group of people. I mean, we've got, folks like Rebecca in the yarn community. Your background is in the, the child or the protection, the catching community. You've got people in the knife community, homestead community. You've got people, gamers. We've got a lot of everybody that comes in here. Hang on, that's Tammy. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Well,
I like Rebecca. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what were you saying, Jeff?
Oh, I just like watching what you do there. I don't know how. Do you ever get? It's none of my business. You don't have to answer. But do you ever get carpal tunnel or feel like you're gonna get sore?
No.
Really? That's good. Okay. I was always curious about that.
The main problem that I do have is that the neck, and the shoulders, because of how close I'm working here.
Right.
It kind of tends to make my upper back roll, like this.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out ways to keep that from happening, because trying to exercise when you've got knee problems, it's not easy. But
Well, see, that's how it. Yep.
It's how I get some of my exercises and things like that.
That's how I got injured in the line of duty. Was U.S. Marshals. I can't talk about everything, but they had us do a certain situation. We had to on the federal inmates, and I was working quad control, and we had to do an immediate lockdown, an immediate count. Well, the stairs inside the quad control down to the commode were very, very slippery. They didn't fix a lot of things at that point, and it happened to be a day where I was supposed to go to church with my family. It was my Friday, and they weren't supposed to make us work a double shift on our Fridays. So I had already worked all night, Saturday night to Sunday morning, and I had my church shoes on because right after I got off work, I'd go home, get my family, go to church. And they made me work my Friday a double shift. And I said, well, I do not want to be in the pods with inmates because I'm so tired they can easily attack me and me not be aware because my mind's cloudy. I'm tired. I worked all night. So I stayed in quad control, and the U.S. Marshals asked us to do a count and lock down an account. Well, the inmates were all locked in their cells, and the pod officer went to booking to turn into whatever. I had an opportunity, coffee goes right through me, so I had to go pee really bad. And I slipped and I fell down the stairs, and of course I put my hands out, but my right kneecap hit the concrete floor first and busted my patella, my right patella. And that's how I was injured in the line of duty. And so I still have issues to this day with my knee. It's not as bad, I guess, as it used to be, but sometimes, especially during the colder weather, oh boy, it will hurt. It hurts pretty bad sometimes.
Well,
By the way, Chelsea, if you're able to come on up, or Beverly, or Busby.
Yeah. Busby, I talked to the people today, and they said because I never got a 1099 from PayPal. I never did. I've been watching for it, and I've never gotten that. So I'm guessing that because it was friends and family, they didn't. I never got a 1099, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Let me ask a question, if I could, regarding the new digital age. I've been looking out myself in the mail more than anything. They still send those, like Cash App, PayPal, YouTube, whatever, AdSense, we want to call it. They still have to send a physical copy, right?
I don't think they do.
They end up sending me, what I've made. I have papers that I printed off of PayPal that says how much I got.
Right.
And I did talk to them about it when I did the taxes, and they basically said if you didn't get a 1099 from them by the end of February, which is now March, you're not going to get one.
Okay.
I know that typically, in order for it to be required, I think it has to be $600 or something like that. If it's below that, at least that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but I knew some folks at one point who every year, before they would go through and do their taxes, they would exchange $599 checks. For I guess they were using it for tax write-offs or something like that.
Busby, I am not married. That is my brother. And he only wears that orange to keep himself safe when he rides his bike. So he doesn't hunt. Ronald left. But Busby was saying, Rebecca, was your husband hunting? He's not my husband. He's my brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah, I'm not married.
Let me ask a question. I'm not trying to interrupt. I just want to answer. So if I go to my Cash App on my phone right now, I remember receiving something from them saying your 2023 whatever is available to view. I assume I'm clicking there now. I just have my internet's having an issue. I assume I can still find that if I do need that, right? Like how much I made.
Yeah, I would think so. It's a W-2, I would think, unless it's a 1099. If you do contract work, I believe, and I'm no accountant. All right, let's get that straight to begin with. Right. But I think if you are an employee, you get a W-2. I think if you are a subcontractor or something like that, I think it's a 1099.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So
I just don't know how to. I'm looking at it right now. And I'm trying to find that particular digital statement. Let's see, Double Dog. I've said Double Dog. Obviously. Oh, sorry.
Jack is in the Philippines.
Oh, cool. Hey, Jack. Oh, is that Jack?
Yeah.
That's like Jack Johnson. Yeah. Jack Johnson. I'm on my Cash App right now. But yeah, I'm trying to find I may have to get somebody to help me offline here, figure out where that is on my Cash App. Do I have to go to my PayPal? I think Joe Anderson mentioned go to your PayPal and check. I need to do that too.
By the way,
But
Busby,
yeah,
Rebecca
Yes.
is single. She's available.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
I'm just saying, if she wants to date, you know,
I'm too set in my ways to.
single and
Get
ready
married
to
together.
mingle. Single and ready to mingle.
Nope. I haven't mingled since 2008.
I was actually talking in I'll just say, oh, taxes. Okay, so I found it on Cash App. It's under taxes. Okay, that was simple. I clicked the wrong button. So it shows Cash App taxes. Okay. Now I forgot what I was going to say. No, ever since my wife and well, I still have trouble saying my ex-wife and I because we were together for so long, for 20 years. You know? But I keep losing my
Busby,
train
I'm
of
happy. I'm glad you're happily married.
I
But
am.
after-
Hey, I'm happily married, but you know, I think my wife would gladly rent me out.
Well, after my ex-wife and I separated, and by the way, we're best friends. We're probably better friends now. In the last few years we were married, but we had a hard time since our son passed away. It just kind of, anyway, I don't want to get into personal stuff, but I just was not interested in dating anybody for years, any woman for years. I just didn't care. I was kind of happy being single. I'm still single. Now I've dated a few women. I've had a few dates where we go to a concert or something, or a special event, and then there's a few that I've dated that I met through YouTube from different communities, and but that's about it. And
All day.
I don't.
Half of it's mine.
Okay.
There's a whole sandwich in there.
All right.
Can't-
Apparently, I got food. By the way,
Tammy, did she leave? Gary,
huh?
is Tammy there?
Yeah, she is. Tammy's here. She can hear you if you want to
Okay.
say hey to her.
I gotta order some more of your soap.
You got Rebecca wants to order some soap.
Remind me which one it was.
Which soap was that?
Was the lavender?
Yeah, that's what it's.
The lavender.
Tammy, she wants some lavender soap.
Okay, I'll have to check and see what I have.
She said she'll check and see what she has. It's been a while since you made soap, ain't it?
Yeah, I still have some.
It's been a while since she's made any, but she still has some. Although she'll have to check to see if she has lavender.
Well, my good person, the one that I used to buy the goat milk from,
Do what now?
the lady I bought the goat's milk from, she sold for goats. I've got to find a new person to buy some.
Oh.
What's up, Jonesy?
Hi, Jonesy.
Jonesy.
How we all going?
My brother
are
from
you, brother?
across the pond.
Further, I'm across the bigger pond, but
Yeah, the big.
yeah, the Pacific pond. But no, I just got home after a week away, so it's sort of good to be back in your own little nest again.
Good to see you. Talk to you. Thank you for your kind words in the chat. Jonesy, I appreciate that.
Jonesy.
You might
Yeah.
end up some of the other half, but I haven't had lunch. So.
There's an arm.
There's an arm coming out
There's
of
an
nowhere.
arm.
You didn't wave though, did you, babe? You
Give
come
us a
back.
thumbs up. Where's the thumbs up?
The thumbs up is. I've got to check and see if I did the thumbs up.
There we go. Look at that.
What do you think of this one?
Awesome.
Isn't that pretty? No, I
Yeah.
don't want to block anybody. Get off of there, please.
Show us again, Rebecca.
Oh,
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 wow.
wow.
Isn't that pretty?
That's nifty.
Yes, I did give you a thumbs up.
Well, thank you.
But yeah, what you put up at your top link was something about a garden.
Hi, Nicole.
I clicked on it and it's like, what? That is not a StreamYard link.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
I went away for a week and I've come home to the first red one.
Hang on, let me bigify you. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hi,
This is
Nicole.
Well,
That's
I have to tell you, for
Have
Jonesy
you ever
lives,
had fried green tomatoes?
Not yet,
They're good.
but
They're good tomatoes.
Jonesy lives in one of those beautiful places I've ever seen on YouTube. As
Yeah.
far as being on a panel and seeing, he lives in one of the most beautiful places.
yeah, well, it's nice to come home, I tell you. Queensland is just way too hot and humid for me.
Oh,
We're up
yeah.
there. Oh man,
See, you
it's-
do have palm trees. There's a palm tree in the background. Is that a yucca palm tree like we have here? or-
palm tree. Which way? This one? Which way was I looking? got palm
it's
down.
t-
Oh yeah, yeah, down the side.
Hey, Jonesy, are you
Yeah.
familiar with 41 South, Joe?
Yeah. He's about 30 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
Retired with his little dog, and he's on a nice waterway there at Devonport.
Yeah, he got that cute little tripod puppy.
Yeah,
Or dog. This cute dog.
yeah.
I
No,
was
I'm
wondering, I got conversating with him and he told me that where he lived, and I asked him how close that was from Bernie. And so
Yeah.
I'm playing some of his stuff right now as we speak.
Yeah, he's a nice old fella. He's retired seaman. He loves his ships. I tell you who was excited when we come home.
Charlie.
Charlie. I don't think he was outside much when we were away. Buddy, what do you got? But he jumped. He jumped. He was all over us.
Who was taking care of him while you were gone?
Our middle daughter. She lives downstairs here. Like, even though it looks like one story at the back and two at the front because of the slope. But yeah, no, he lived in. He was in her. He lived in her bed for about a week.
Hi, John. Hunting
Yeah.
stuff with J and J.
Good people.
Hi, John.
But yeah, we've left the warmth and the heat of Queensland, come back to a nice cloudy. Oh yeah, we got blue sky there. There we go. I need to do another beach video, so that's coming out later today. I'm gonna go film it after lunch when the clouds supposed to disappear.
Now, is that going to be on
I love
tour?
beach. I love beach feet.
Yeah, it's gonna be on both of them.
Okay.
Everyone I do on Radio Jonesy on tour is me like this. How you going? We're at the beach. Everyone I do on Beach Feed is like, we look at the beach and you don't see me at all.
Okay.
So it's just aimed at a different market, but it's sort of working. I just got to put more work into it. But
Well,
flying,
you reach a
flying.
point of diminishing returns, I think.
Yeah. Flying home was awesome with above the clouds. Like we were really nice rumbling clouds below us,
Mhm.
and I got some good shots of that from the plane. I'm gonna have. I took the phone on the way up, and I brought back. I come back with the GoPro. So
You're on. All right, you're on the GoPro now.
no, this is the Chinese rip-off Galaxy called the Oppo. Yeah.
Well, I have heard that a pretty good deal on phones is if talking with a friend of mine, he says that he had found out that some people recommend the Motorola, which is supposed to be considerably less than the the Samsung phones, and supposed to be able to be just as good, but for considerably less expensive. I even thought about buying me a new phone. Obviously, my phone doesn't work very well, but
My phone is a cheapie. It's I bought it for $200 brand new at the it's called the
What
Samsung
you got?
A13 or something like that.
What do you got? He's not eating kangaroo crap, eh? What do you got? You stupid.
I will say most of my YouTube videos outside of my regular computer, when I'm out and about and when I was doing catches and whatnot, was done with this phone. So I can't really complain too much for $200, but it is starting to go out on me. I only owe like $53. I'll probably pay it off tomorrow or sometime next week, and I'll probably go ahead and go in and and you're right. I heard about those Motorola's, which was my first smartphone. Was the Droid 2 Global, and it was by Motorola back in I want to say 2011, 20. I don't remember what year it was, but it was my first smartphone. But Motorola does pretty good.
by the way, and this is a considerably off topic. It's great to see you here, Troy. Hey, Troy, if you want, you're welcome to hop up on here. See if you have the same issues on here as you had over on. Are y'all? Most people in this community is going to know who Brett is from Butt Nuggets Homestead.
Oh yeah.
All right.
He's good people.
He is, but he's also tends to be a bit out there sometimes, even by my standards, which is I'm out there. But he's still a real likable, good guy. And Jake Hudson. I think a lot of people in this neighborhood know Jake as well. To me, Brett is great. I love talking with him and Deborah. I think a match made in heaven would be to have Brett and Jake hosting a program.
That would be different.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, they would almost seem like they would be perfect with one another.
Was this YouTube Police Matchmaker channel? Now we got.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Charlie.
But
okay. Before I forget, Gary, if you don't mind, I got an offer from YouTube through my YouTube studios, and it says connect your new store to your channel. I haven't clicked on it yet because I'm afraid to. It's like I don't know what's next. I've already got members, already got mods. I don't know. I get overwhelmed with stuff. Like I didn't monetize my channel right away. I didn't get members until over a year after I monetized. I just didn't want to overwhelm myself and get confused or whatnot. But now that they want me to add a store, and I know nothing about this store thing. So if anybody knows anything, let me know. I don't know.
I tell you what, one thing I would recommend is seeing if you couldn't figure out a way to hook up with Devil Dog's Keeper.
Right, the stickers and stuff. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if they may be able to set you up a thing, or if you are a member, if you have that Teespring store, that may be I think I've got one set up on my channel, my main channel, that's through Teespring.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you, you know, it's like I haven't given it a second thought. I don't know if I think I've sold maybe 2 or 3 T-shirts or something.
Right.
It's not anything that I ever push, and not anything that I think most people are. I don't think most people could care. I think most people could care less about buying a T-shirt, you know, from Belt Loop 29, and that's okay. But hey, Troy, I did watch Troy try to join on Butt Nuggets Homestead the other day, and what is that? What is that on your shirt there, Jonesy?
Oh, I can't even. Hang on. It's a band, of course. One
It's
of
a
the
band shirt, isn't it?
Is it Tate?
Taste.
Okay.
Wait, Jeff Tate? Like as in Queensryche, Jeff Tate? Oh,
T-A-S-T-E.
Jeff, you know Jonesy's a DJ, don't you?
oh yeah, of course, we like the same music.
I figured you did. I just, you know, wanted to make sure I mentioned it. Yeah, Devil Dog's good people. And Devil Dog's Keeper's good people too, Troy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I think my phone, I'm looking down at my phone, so I am behind. So my StreamYard is going to my computer, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at my phone through regular YouTube. So if I'm a little behind, I apologize. I just saw his hat.
well, that's okay. The only thing is, you know, if you're on your phone, that StreamYard, man, that drains your battery bad.
Right.
So you
That's
have to
why.
keep that.
That's why I use my laptop for StreamYard, and I use my phone for regular YouTube, so I can comment and everything.
There we go. And, so Jonesy, what you got going on, brother?
I'll be
Just
back.
not much, to be honest. Just
Well-
got back from the week away and seen the grandson. He's a bundle of joy. Always
That's
smiling. Got some. I don't. There's no. They don't like pictures of him online, so there's no. They don't want to. They've seen some stuff online that they don't want anything to do with. So they said, please don't post any photos. So I won't. But I got some cool photos.
We started doing that ourselves. Because of all the creeps and weirdos and whoever you know on the internet. We don't even. I mean,
you know exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. But,
I used to post a few on Instagram and Facebook, like, because you're proud of your kids and grandkids. You want people proud of them, and you want to show that off. But there's so many weirdos out there. I stopped.
And AI generated videos now are crazy with different and I'll just leave that there. But
yeah, that's true.
They're nice. I got some classic photo. He was just I've been talking to him like this online like he's only 5 months old, and I've been talking to him like this. Hey, buddy, blah blah blah. It's Pop, you know. It's Pop, you know. And he, I get up there and say the same thing, and he's, it's Pop. Who is this person? It's a real person. He's, you know, it was funny to watch, and he just wanted to be held and taken places, and that was good.
Well, since I've got both of y'all on here, and both of y'all, you know, are successful YouTubers, I am curious as to, I mean, do you have, I mean, this is something I guess I'm just kind of thinking of. Do you have an end game? Is a point at which you know, would be the ultimate, or do you think that at some point this is something that you know, may just let fall by the wayside?
Well, again, I left it on the private voice thing I sent you, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of keeping it under wraps a little bit. But I will say for me is there's a couple times I literally I had my finger on the button. I was gonna just delete my channel and walk away. I'll just be honest with you. And I didn't. And but I do have an end game now. I do have plans. I want to change my channel. I've been kind of trying a little bit, but until I get to a certain point, I can't. But I'm going to go a completely different direction in a sense, more like this community. I'll give you hints. I want to travel. I want to do more fishing, outdoor type stuff. I want to completely kind of change the direction. But I will also want to continue doing my music stuff, too.
You got to
That's
separate.
kinda
You got to separate those. But I've realized since I've started, your music stuff's just got to be music stuff. That's why I don't really talk much about my music channel. But the realization I've worked out, I can get more bang for my bucks now saying I'm a travel destination, like I'm a travel channel. Like if I was getting a CPM of $26 on a airline flight video. Or
Wow.
CPM. Is it
Yeah.
CPM? Yeah, CPM.
Yeah.
Yeah, $26. Like it's every other video is about $2.20 or $4.40 or something. And it's all about putting the right words in the description. Like
Not only that, it's about advertisers. If they see the
Yeah.
video as something that can be profitable for them, you'll make more money per thousand or viewers,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it's called,
well,
than
I'm
you
making
would say. Yeah.
$10 on a video now instead of $1.20. But only that's very rare for me. But I've just sort of realized I've done it twice now and it's worked twice. So I'm going to stick with that format of come visit Tasmania, check out the beaches, and I'm at the beach, and here I am, and that's come to wherever I'm going to go. Like unfortunately, I've got a funeral to get to coming up soon, so I'll be flying out to that. But
I may have to try that, Jonesy. Come to the backwoods of Mississippi. I don't think it'd have the same ring to it, though.
Well, I think it's all about what you put in your description, how you describe your video, and I do hang out with the cruising crowd, so maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know, but yes, every time I've just done a really bad video of a direct video, no editing, no nothing, just turn the camera on, run it for so long, turn the camera off, and upload that. It's done better than videos I've spent days on editing. So it's YouTube's a funny thing, and the stupid dad jokes, that's going good. Yeah. Yeah, but he's been eating dirt.
It's kind of interesting how certain videos or shorts or even a couple lives, how some of them can be, for my channel, like I said, I have 2,500 and a couple subscribers. So some videos will get 1.8K views or whatever. Some will get 120. It just really depends. And sometimes it's about the algorithm. Like I posted, I started a series. I haven't been doing much on it lately. It's called Behind the Barricade. So when I was in the music industry, I have so much footage. Backstage, Queensryche, Skid Row, Motley Crue, the list goes on and on and on. And I want to post all those. And so I started a series called Behind the Barricade. I've got 3 or 4 up. Some are short, some are short videos, some are just simply me filming Queensryche on the side of the stage near the soundboard, because I had all access to that show, and Stryper and some other bands. And I wanted to start. I posted one where Robert Sweet, the drummer for Stryper, was signing autographs and getting pictures. I posted a little 20, 30-second deal on that. And there's so much more I have, but my ex-wife has my other computer still. She's getting all of her stuff off of there. I told her yesterday we were on the phone. I said, "Hey, can I get that computer back for about a month? Because I want to get some things uploaded to my
Eddie,
channel."
be it known that you are on the live stream right now, they can hear you.
Well, don't put me on live stream.
All right.
Huh?
Hang on. I'm going to mute myself.
Is that Devil Dog?
Okay, that was Devil Dog.
Yes, it's Devil Dog. Everybody's saying, hey, Southwest Jeff, Rebecca, and Joan. And me too.
Now.
All right.
Now say it because I had it muted. Go ahead and tell them overall.
You just did.
Devil Dog.
We want to hear you say
Yeah,
it.
we want to hear a Marine say it, not a policeman.
Yep. I want to hear a Marine say it. There we go.
Now, if I say it, people are going to say I'm committing stolen valor again, all because I said I was a negative.
Yeah. Hey, y'all hang on a minute. I'm gonna mute everything and I'm gonna go into the conversation with Devil Dog. I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Here's the other one finished. And I brought the can up. Take a look at this. Can you see that this is an old popcorn can? Because this is raised.
Oh, wow. Wait,
Look at how many I have in here.
Wow. So you're using that to throw your okay, yeah.
That's all scrubbies in there.
Nice. Now, do you sell those?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah. Just kind of
Go ahead.
give away as gifts or whatever, like Christmas and whatnot.
I do talk with Eddie sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, sometimes not at all. But it's it would be unusual for oh cool.
Oh,
I am our active duty. There we go. That's my buddy Eddie, and I talk with him about once or twice a day. I don't, and I do go see him. He's down in Houston, or just outside this side of Houston. And so, by the way, Adventure America, you'd be welcome to come to the next meetup we have. It's going to be next year in April or May, I think. It's going to be down in Houston. You got enough time to plan for it.
I've invited myself. No, I'm just kidding. I like to come. I love to meet you all in person someday.
We'd love to have you, Jeff. You know that.
Oh, I appreciate that. If it's in Texas, it's only one state over, and I grew up there, so.
Well,
I have family down there.
Hurrah, Adventure America.
Hoorah. Semper Fidelis. And yeah, I'm not a Marine. I did sign up for the Marines, was in the delayed entry program, but I got kicked out for asthma, or I didn't even make it to boot camp. So
yeah,
still, I got much love for the military.
Me too. Me too. I've never been in the military, just to clarify that for like the 100th time. Well, not on this channel, but
I know, Jeff, and hey, I understand. There is no miscommunication as far as I'm aware on this channel. And even then, the folks that are on your channel that do that, those are the same trolls that just want to make something about nothing. And
right, they were calling you a mall cop, and I was like, oh my God.
I don't care. I mean, I don't. They have no bearing on my life.
Right.
So my life is no different whether they think whether I think they think I'm the FBI or whether I am the forest or a criminal.
Exactly.
They have no bearing on my life. And so, and I don't mind going in there and occasionally slapping one of them. I'm okay with that. Now,
well, I think a lot more people, to be honest with you, Beltway. I know you've been in my chats a little bit more lately. Not often, but a little bit more. I appreciate that. I think there's more people that respect you now than they did, say, a year ago when that whole thing whatever lights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
a lot more people will say hi to you, how you doing, at least what I've
Yeah.
noticed.
Well, I think so too. I mean, the fact is, the truth, here's the God's honest truth, is that I don't do a lot of law enforcement. Where I work at, most of what we do is focus on, patient care, making sure that the patients and the staff typically are protected, are safe.
Right.
We don't do. I mean, have we made arrests? Yes. Do we do we give tickets on occasion? But the fact is, most of those people don't make a whole lot of money, and a ticket just ain't going. Now if they continue to do something over and over again, it's more likely they get a ticket. But for the most part, I can't tell you how many. Here's the thing: I have before I became a supervisor over there. I would pull people over for running stop signs. I sat there and watched them run the stop sign. It ain't like
California rule.
And I can't help it that they thought they stopped. They didn't,
Right.
In fact, honest to God, I would rather sit back in my patrol car and just listen to music and have them stop and go on about their way. And truthfully, I ain't real strict on it even then. If they slow down to almost a stop, I would, let them go with that. It ain't got to come to a perfect stop for, to get by without getting pulled over, at least not when I'm out there. But some of them just go flying by the stop, and I swear some of them just honest. I don't know if they're in their mind, they actually believe they stopped, but, and I'm sitting right there, the stop sign like 30 feet from me. They're just, I believe they're just anxious to get out of there, leave and go home. And so,
now, are you in a marked car? Just out of curiosity.
Yes. And when I was doing that, I was in a marked car. It's not like, hey, it's not like they're trying to trick anybody.
Right.
I do know officers that have told me where and that work for other communities and what have you. One of the officers I work with used to tell me about this one spot over in Clinton that he would sit there and videotape. He'd sit there with his phone and he'd videotape people as they came up to it because he knew they were about to run it, and they would run it. And then he'd pull them over and they would swear that they stopped and said, all right, so if, are you prepared to go to jail? If I could prove to you that you ran it. They said yes. And they would swear up and down they stopped. And then he'd show them the video and he'd tell them, well, I don't really want to take you to jail, but obviously you weren't paying attention. And hey, they're just people trying to do a job. Now, some of them take a great deal of joy in it. I always just want to be the one who was able to sit in the patrol car and have the radio on.
Right.
But, it's not like I want to have to do more work.
Right. I'll admit, there's been a couple times in my life where I literally just didn't see it, or my mind was elsewhere, or I was tired coming home from work or whatever, and I was like, oh shoot, I just ran a stop sign, or even a red light one time, which is very scary because that can cause so much accidents. Both of them can. And I felt horrible. And I was like, well, if I get pulled over, I deserve what I get. But it wasn't intentional. It was just simply my mind was going 1,000 miles an hour. I had a long work day or whatever the situation. And it's no excuse. I just simply make
well, I think the goal, at least my goal was always, and I would park when I was monitoring traffic. I would park where I was extremely visible, high profile, in a marked patrol car, right there. Less than a stone's throw I could probably take a 20-pound brick and throw it that far. But, still, people, some people would stop. It's funny to watch some of them. It's like they'll almost slam on brakes because I was so visible. But, anyhow, that's another story. I don't.
Well, I'll say something here if I could. So in 2015 to 2017, I was a mobile security guard, which means I drove a security. I don't know what the noise is there.
You're starting to get a little bit of reverb, or
It's not me. It's
it may be Jack. Well, Jack, I'm gonna mute you for just a second, see if it happens, if it clears it up. Oh, wait a minute. He may. I think. Did that stop it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack,
So I was working.
hang on just a
Sorry,
second. Jack, you may have YouTube already still open or something. If so, if you don't mind muting it, you can unmute it whenever you're ready. Go ahead, Jeff.
So I was working mobile security, and it was one of those nights where, of course, security guards, a lot of us are put in the worst parts of town. There was high crime. We're just a deterrent. We observe, we report. That's it. And I had a mobile security car, with the little blue and we have blue and yellow lights, and whatnot. But anyways, my shift was over. It was one of those nights where it was constant chaos, and we had 3 uniformed guards. I won't say the location. We had 3 uniformed guards inside near the front doors. We had one Albuquerque police officer that parked his car outside moonlighting, getting extra hours, and then we had me who patrolled the parking lot, and also a couple other properties around the area. I drive there every so often. I have to go make my presence known, if you will. It's just a deterrent. Not that it worked too well, but well, anyways, we had one of those nights where it was just constant shoplifters, people getting in car accidents, people's cars being stolen or broken into or whatever. And of course, a lot of those times we had to have the police officer come down and do the official stuff. I was just the security guard, but I had to do my own incident reports as well. And I was just so tired. And it was all the way near the mountain, across the city, 45-minute drive from my house. And I would drive home. I'd get off about 11:15, 11:30ish at night. And I was just so exhausted. And I was almost home. And I got to an intersection, and this is how tired I was. And sometimes I was working 16-hour shifts. And I was literally turning the corner on a green light in a major intersection, and I literally passed out. I fell asleep while I was turning the corner, hit the curb. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And the cops came up behind me, of course, and they did the initial eye check and whatnot. And they said, sit comfortably, park your truck. I'm like, okay. I'm not going to argue. They can search my car. That's what I thought they were going to do, And I was like, sure. They saw me in my uniform. I said, honestly, I don't know. It's never happened before. I'm just so tired. I just fell asleep and I was turning. It's like, no, you're fine. We're going to change your tire. Do you have a spare? I was like, yes, I do. They literally changed my tire for me. I mean, that's how cool they were. I was like, wow.
Well, there's a lot of good people out there that got into law enforcement to try to make a difference. And
right.
Sometimes, but they don't, they ain't the ones that make the news. It's, ones where people have a clip of, and usually don't show the whole thing. But I mean, there are some bad ones out there, and there's some good ones. I think we are right at 3 hours, so I'm going to end the stream. I have got it forwarded over to another friend of mine's live stream that happens to be on right now, unless Jonesy or Jack wants to go live, or Rebecca or Jeff. If y'all want to go live, I'll change it up and redirect it over to you.
No, I don't.
I'm not going live.
In fact, I need to get off here. I need to go to Walmart and get a few things. But
Okay.
I appreciate you having me out. Rebecca, it's always a pleasure. Jones, it's always a pleasure. Jack, good to see you again.
Well, I've got it redirected so that it should take you to the Tommy Temper Live. Jack, do you want to go live?
No.
If
No.
so, all right. Well, I've got it. I set it up to where it'll go directly to Tommy Tempers live. He's a friend of mine. He's a Canadian. He's a Canadian, and he has quite a few folks out there that watch his stuff. Thank you for coming in. Let me say special thanks to Southwest Jeff, Rebecca Touched by Yarn, Jack Hobson, and Radio Jonesy on tour. Thank you, Busby, for being in the chat. Adventure America Troy, Simon over at Yes I Can Barbecue. Thank you all for participation and helping with my watch hours. I am going to end it, and so that everybody can. You don't have to, but if you would go into Tommy Tempers and tell him it's a YouTube police raid, love raid. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. A YouTube police love raid. That sounds good. It sounds better than just a YouTube police raid.
Police raid. I get
That sounds awesome.
Can I ask one thing? When you end the live, can we talk for just a minute or two behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'll stick around in here, but I'll end it so that he can go through. It can send some folks over there. It would just be cool to have that done. You know, if one or two of you says a YouTube police raid, that would be fine. But if most of y'all would, please go in and say hello to him. He's good people. And I've been up on his panel several times, but I'm going to end in 3, 2, 1. Thank y'all.